I got 509 notifications.
Yeah, probably 70 of them are us.
73 are from me. Yeah, I gotta say something about that tonight. We moved everything to YouTube, with a static image. Mm-hmm. And the only way I could do it was just to batch it, just throw them all at the same time from I use Libsyn, and they just did it all at once. I was like, oh God, it's going to be a storm.
I was going to say though, before you did it, you should have unenrolled yourself and then enrolled yourself again.
Yeah, I know. That sounds like a good plan, but I didn't think that quick. I was like, oh, let's just get them to YouTube. Hell yeah, let's do it. Boom. Yeah. And then I went, oh shit.
Yeah, that's what we do. Gator's the guy that goes, let's do it right now. Let's do it live. Let's go.
I'm the impulsive.
And I'm like, just put it back in your pants. Just settle down.
Yeah, that's true.
But of course, our roles are switched when we actually turn the mic on and things like that, because, then I become sarcastic or more sarcastic, and then he becomes a shill. So,
yep, all right.
I usually just sit in the background now and just run everything and just have everybody else talk now. I'll interject here and there, but I usually am the one just setting everything up and watching all levels and writing down notes for timestamps to cut out an F-bomb here and there. And then it's like, I hate getting put on the spot, and Doc does it too, because he'll see my face not looking at the right screen. He knows what screen I look at for the podcast, like to stay in the conversation. And I'll be looking elsewhere and he'll go, Joe, do you have anything to add for that? And it's like, dude, edit Joe, 15 minutes, 37 seconds.
You got a
prick.
You got a notepad too.
Guardian down.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us today. Welcome to episode 74 of Guardian Downcast. We're a couple dads that talk about all things in the Destiny universe, and we interview content creators and community members to find out more about them. Think of us as the lighter side of Destiny Talk. I'm your host, The Gator, and my co-host, Mr. Hazelnut, is here as well. Hey, man, how you been? You getting all better now since last week? Things doing better for you?
I'm doing okay. I'm like maybe 65, 75%, something like that. So for anybody who doesn't know, I put it in the Discord. I had shingles. I'm not even 40 yet. And the doctor is like, yeah, that can happen. And everybody always blames stress. And there's a little bit of that going around right now. So I've been taking some time when I'm not scratching myself to death to kind of focus on meditating, relaxing, trying to put things back in perspective as to what's important and go from there. So
yeah, man, perspective is everything. It really is.
Yeah, it is. So I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Doing some other stuff, playing a little bit of Destiny here and there.
Yeah, we did. We did some raiding, man. Your first PC raid, man. What'd you think?
I did. I love PC. We need to get some people on who have a PlayStation 5 or Xbox.
Yeah.
S or 5 or X or whatever the hell it is. I mean,
who knows?
And then see how they are experiencing life and things like that. So.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, how about you, man?
Yeah, it's been a good week. A little chilly here, and all right, I'm not going to rub it in. It's been a little chilly for us, okay, in Florida. It's been we had some 30-degree nights, and it's been kind of 60-ish all week, and that's hard to work in when you're dealing with water. So water and cold don't like to do well together. But no, I mean, it's been good. We got a new bed. I'm still trying to adapt to it. It's one of those, I don't even know. Posturpedic or whatever the one it's supposed to adjust to your body. I don't know. All I know is I can raise my head and my legs now, which is, I think that's awesome. One step closer to the retirement home. Well, hey, enough about us. Tonight we have a special guest in the show. He's the founder, executive director of Guardiansmh. He's a co-host of Guardians Mental Health and Pixels After Dark podcast on Twitch, and a crisis counselor at the Crisis Text Line, not to mention an avid gamer and Destiny 2 community member. Our friend, Mr. Avgjoe. How are you tonight, sir?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Not bad. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking me to come on. I'm really excited.
Yeah, man. I've been looking forward to this all week. I'm
still stunned. Like, why do they want to talk to me?
we got so many questions, dude. We do. So
I saw that.
Well, just a quick overview of tonight's show. First, we're going to hear about Avgjoe's story. Hazel's going to go over the TWAB for this 4th week of Beyond Light, Season of the Hunt.
Excited.
Yes. Next, we're going to test Avgjoe's mental twitch reflexes with our signature fast fire segment we call the Speed Run. Finally, we answer community questions and add 2 songs each to our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify and iTunes. All right, guys, we got a packed show tonight, so let's get into it. Hey, thanks for listening to Guardian Downcast. You can find us on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast.
Or, you can find us on Instagram at Guardian_Down_cast and see what pics our weekly guests want to share with you.
Or Hazel, just visit our website at GuardianDowncast.com for all the contact information and where else you want to find us. And you can also play any past episodes you like in any order you like, right from your browser.
Don't you or me, man. Anyway, so hey, Guardians, check us out, and later, Guardians.
Toddles.
Hey, that's my line, man.
Well, Mr. Avgjoe, where are you from, man? Are you, I think you said you're upstate New York, is that correct?
I am. I live in upstate New York. I've lived here my whole life. I've moved around here and there because of work, so I've been kind of up and down the eastern seaboard. But I've always had my footing here in upstate. I grew up in a small town, kind of in between like the Pennsylvania border and Syracuse, called Whitney Point.
Okay.
It's right on the 81 interstate highway, like corridor right there. So the 81, if you're familiar with the eastern seaboard, runs from like Maine all the way down to like Georgia.
I've been on that road. Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up off it. I love it. It's my home.
So you've grown up. You've grown up in the New York, that upper state New York area all your life, huh?
Yep. And
that's awesome.
Winter sucks.
I was just gonna say, you guys have legendary winter up there, man. I have a buddy who lives in Buffalo, and I hear stories, man, of just winters that just make everybody else look like nothing, even Ohio.
I'll tell you what, in upstate New York, they have this thing that's called the Golden Snowball. It's an award that goes to the city that has the most snowfall accumulation for the year. And Syracuse, New York has actually beat out all the other cities because they're right on a lake. So they get all that lake effect. But I will say Buffalo, New York is pretty miserable in the wintertime. But no, I love it up here. I mean, it's a gorgeous state. The hiking, the season changes, the wineries are amazing. New York is an exceptionally beautiful state, but if you don't like the cold, you're not going to like it very much.
No, I'm at the opposite end of the spectrum. I think I think I'm good here, man. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have any family? Do you have kids? You married?
I do. I am married. My wife's name is Melissa. In case you didn't know, my name is Joe. I have 2 daughters. One is 12. My oldest is 12 years old. Her name is Emma. And our youngest is Sadie, and she is 4 years old. And then we have a dog, Dingo, and I call him he's my little boy. He's
13.
actually in the office with me right now, just chilling. He's my office dog.
13-year-old daughter. Man, just take a nap now. We'll just wake you up in a minute.
Yeah, for real. Please. It's exhausting. They grow up very quick. And I'll tell you what, that teenage angst, and every time that she throws, like, you have a 13-year-old daughter, so you know.
I have a 20. Well, she's 21 now, but yeah, I've been through the.
Oh, so you went through it? Yeah,
I've been through it, man. Hazel has yet to come for him. So
yeah, I've got a 5-year-old. So
I'll tell you what, my best friend, when we first had our first daughter, it was years before his son, and he never really understood. He's like, why can't you go out and this and that and this? Oh, that's no excuse. And every single time I'd be like, just wait. And I told him, I'm like, the day you have like you're having a little one, I will be at the hospital with a huge grin on my face, because that is the beginning right there, and I can't wait for you to go through it, because then he finally would understand. But no, I love having kids, dude. They are amazing. They give me so much energy when I get home. Especially the 4-year-old. She just hide and go seek, play, the giggling and everything. It's just, they give so much more back. And when I grew up, my father was an avid video gamer himself.
Oh, you're so lucky, man. So lucky.
Dude, we grew up, like, we were playing his Atari. Like, we would sit down, like, him, my brother, and I have an older brother. He's 10 months older than me. We would all play video games together. So all through our entire lives, we all played video games. And I learned very quickly, don't get in like a Command and Conquer or like StarCraft match against my father, because he will wreck you. He is disturbingly good at those games. But I might have mentioned this, but I do derail quite often.
Well, I was just going to ask you. I forgot to ask you, what do you do for a living? I mean, what's your job, man?
Okay. Yeah, I actually I work for Frito-Lay.
Okay.
My
dad used to work for them a long time ago.
Did he?
Yeah, there's a plant here in Orlando. Yeah. Yep.
There is a plant here in upstate New York. There's 2 plants that pretty much supply all of the Northeast.
Oh,
one
wow.
of them is in Connecticut. One of them is here in upstate New York. And I don't live too far from it, but I'm in the sales side. So I do pretty much route sales. And right now, my zone is inner city.
Okay.
So I'm in the inner city quite often now, and I absolutely love it. I'm very much a people person, so I love interacting with people all day long.
Yeah,
it does get a little bit crazy, but I enjoy it. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I can tell. It comes very natural to you. I get it. Yeah,
it does. I'm sitting about 20 years right now selling potato chips. So
very nice, dude.
I actually have a gift for a community member. I'm not going to name him, but he is like addicted to Doritos sweet chili. Oh. And I have a case in the other room for the next time we send out kits to the post office. I have an entire box of sweet chili Doritos going to him for Christmas, and I want it to be a surprise. I told him a while ago that I would send him a case, and I never did, because I kept like, this would be a really good Christmas present for a surprise. And I know he forgot all about it, so I don't want to say anything. So
Risen Phoenix, they're coming, buddy. They're coming, buddy.
They're coming.
That's awesome. Well, let's. You brought up gaming and a little bit of your gaming history, so let's talk about that. What's one of your earliest moments or memories in gaming that you remember?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Altered Beast, probably the earliest.
Wow, that's way back.
Grew up with the old Sega and Sega Genesises. We were a Genesis family. We had Nintendo and all that. And I know a lot of people like migrate, Legends of Zelda was, changed my life. And it's like, nah, man, you didn't experience Sega and Altered Beast.
I played it at the arcade. It was a nice game at the arcade.
There's a term that me and my best friend, my best friend I've known for 35 years. He played these games with me, but Forgotten Realms was another one. And the term spin to win for us came from that game, because you could conquer the entire game just by holding down the fire button and spinning in circles. And you just would go through the entire game just spinning in circles, shooting. But spin to win. But yeah, that was that. And probably one of the funnest moments. Does anybody remember the board game Risk?
Of course.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, Sega Genesis had a Risk game that you could play on there. And my father was always very, not very competitive, but he was never beaten. And I remember one day, we would sit on the couch, so you would have to pull the Sega Genesis like out from the TV, set it in the middle of the floor, and stretch the cords out as far as they would go. So you could sit on the couch and play the game. And it wasn't any of these newfangled wireless controllers. I
like this guy.
You got it. No.
I like this guy, Hazel.
But we were playing, and my brother, like, literally had him down to, like, the last country. Had him completely wiped out. And I'm sitting there like a cheerleader just rooting him on. Like, you're going to be dead. And all of a sudden, our dog walked in from outside, tripped on the cord, unplugged, and my father threw his hands up and goes, I retire. I've never been defeated. And walked out, never touched the game ever again.
Oh, my God. It was ping pong. It was ping pong with my dad. I can never beat him at ping pong.
Yeah?
God.
Oh, man.
And he you could tell when he kind of give you a little shot, you know, he'd give you a small window where he'll let up a little bit, but then he'll just wail. Yeah, I know the feeling, man. My dad was competitive.
Glimpse of hope.
Yeah, exactly. You
want that shot? No, I don't think so. I got you there.
So
no,
did you?
Awesome.
So you were a Sega family. Did you go PlayStation route, Xbox, or PC from there? As you got older,
actually, all of them.
Oh, I love it.
We actually had all of them. We had. We had every console when they came out. We even had TurboGrafx 16. So we came from a big gaming family, and my father played just as much as we did. Like when work was done, dinner and all that, and then on like Sundays, like that was his day to game. Like it didn't matter what you wanted to play, he had the console. But when we got a little bit older, he kind of stayed with like the Segas and Super Nintendos and stuff. He liked that kind of genre. He still plays an Xbox 360.
Oh my God.
So he lives for Left 4 Dead. I'm not even lying.
Nice.
But and Halo, what is it? ODST. He loves that game too.
Right.
But we actually migrated to PC shortly after, and we actually had all of our computers networked. So we had actually 4 computers in the house.
You actually had a LAN
networked.
You had a LAN party.
Yep. And it would be pretty much, and my best friend like lived at our house. Like he would wake up in the morning, leave his house and come to our house. So, but we would all be able to play together still. So we would play like the original like Warcraft together, or I would play like Unreal Tournament and stuff like that, or Doom. And, anything multiplayer, we were able to do LAN parties on PC. So it was a lot of fun.
You had the hip house on the block. It sounds like it. Like everyone came to your house.
Oh yeah, we used to have. We had the parties on the block. I mean, we had the bar, the pool table, all that stuff, the pool. Man. So yeah, we had a pretty good setup. My old man, he did it right, and he built a lot of it himself. So.
Oh wow.
He was very handy. He wasn't just a gamer. He could do anything. I mean, he's a very very smart guy.
What did he do? Is he a builder or?
No, actually, he owned and ran a small grocery store, local grocery store.
Reason I asked is my dad's a builder, and he sounds exactly like your dad. My dad he does woodworking and everything. It's crazy.
You know what? It actually is like he couldn't find an entertainment center. Remember back in the day when you'd have VHS tapes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My father couldn't find a TV stand to house
that many.
The library. So he built one that was like as long as the room.
That's my dad.
And stained it all up and everything. And he was one of those dads that would be like every Friday you go out to dinner and then stop at like Video King or Blockbuster to grab 3 or 4 movies.
Oh, man.
And then when you got home, he had VHS tapes and a double VCR, so he would tape them.
Oh,
so
nice.
he would run it once, and then he would make bootlegs, and we had a huge library.
I may or may not have done that as well. Maybe.
You know what? I think I kind of miss those days.
I do too. I do too, man. Yeah. God, think about it. When the video, it was a whole new world when the Blockbusters and the home mom and pop video game rental places came about.
It was
like entertainment was huge. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Good
You go there,
times.
you get that popcorn there, and then they'd have like the places we had here had like the like horror movies had their own little like room
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it was kind of like it was almost creepy just to go in there. You know what I mean? And it was interesting back in the day, and I kind of miss those days where you had those. It's almost like a unicorn if you find a rental place these days. I know there's one Blockbuster left. And it's, I think,
in Florida or
is it
Alaska?
Alaska.
No,
That's what I heard.
is it Alaska? I thought it was in.
I thought it was on an Indian. I
Washington.
thought it was on an Indian reservation or something. I heard. I don't know. I can't remember.
What?
Washington State? Really?
I'm
you know,
pretty sure it's like
you might be right.
It could be by.
Gosh, I saw it on. I saw it on Sunday morning. I think they were talking about the last. It was in a cold climate. It was
Bend, Oregon.
Yeah, it was a cold climate. I remember. Wow.
Yeah, Bend, Oregon. I thought it was Alaska or Florida because
Yeah.
Florida is like the home for wayward things. So,
Look at you, quick with the Google searches.
Yeah, I got
Yes,
my own.
sir.
I got my own researcher on staff here. I'm good.
For real, he's good. I might have to borrow him.
Well, it's amazing when you have a PC what you can do with it.
A smartphone.
He had that, didn't work. He wasn't quick enough. He's like lightning speed now. Hazel
yeah,
2.0.
Exactly. Yeah, this is pretty nice actually.
Yeah.
So enough about us though. More about you, sir. So when it came to Destiny, how did you find it? What was how did that come about?
Actually, it was kind of funny. Like before, when it was being like announced, I remember going to the mall with like my brother-in-law, and GameStop was right there, and there was a big poster in the window, and I remember, I'll never forget. He pointed at it and he goes, "That game Destiny, I got it pre-ordered and this and that. I got the beta." He goes, that's gonna be the game right there. It's supposed to be really good." And I'm like, man, whatever. I was still on Call of Duty. Like I was the kind of guy that like I would get a game and I would play the heck out of that game.
Right.
Until the next game came out or something. And,
Well-
but that next game was like 2 years down the road.
If you were part of the
So-
Call of Duty community like I was, you would play the latest Call of Duty for a whole year, and then all your buddies would be on right up day one buying the next iteration of Call of Duty, and that's what you did all year, every night.
Yeah, that you play that Call of Duty, and I think it was before they were releasing every year, before they got on that plan. But I remember he said that, and I'm like, you know what? I'll pre-order. And I pre-ordered, and I got the beta, and I signed on to the beta, and I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. And I made a Titan, and to this day, I still play a Titan. So I've played Destiny all the way from the beta all the way up, and I do play other games here and there, but Destiny has been my weekly playlist for, I think, at least 2 nights a week, every single week for like the last 7 years.
Totally get it, man. Totally get it.
Nice.
Yeah, love the game. Love my Titan. He's ugly as hell. I really wish the helmet stays on all the time. And when it comes off in the cinematics, I'm like, ooh, it's like that harsh reminder. You know what I mean? Like, what was I thinking back then? And I really, really love it. And I'm really excited for everything for the future. And if you've ever seen my office, I love the art in Destiny. I love the concept art and everything. And I have the Bungie store has a store. I think it's Cook and Burke and Cook, I think it is.
Mhm.
They do gallery grade prints of their concept art in a lot of video games, and it's not just Bungie and Destiny. You could find Bloodborne and Cyberpunk, and you name the game, they have art prints
Smart
there.
about it. Nice.
And I have all of them except for the Traveler one, which sold out wicked fast.
Right.
But I have all of those, and any community artist, I absolutely am so supportive of the art community, and everybody's so talented. I have so many prints and originals and everything framed in my office, and it's my fortress of solitude. I love coming in here, and I love seeing all the art, and it just makes me feel good, seeing all this, and it's an amazing thing, and I'm really, really glad Destiny came around.
Oh,
Like,
I just don't have any room in my office for art, but I'm curious. I'm curious though. Do you have like a favorite moment in Destiny? Like a moment you'll just never forget when you played all these years?
Actually, it was towards the beginning.
Okay.
I remember making fun of somebody running around the tower with a mohawk, and I was on like a chat with my brother and somebody else, and I'm like, dude, what is this? And I was knocking it at first, I was being, critical. And they're like, no, that's the Saint 14 helm. I'm like, what the hell is that?
I had a feeling.
What is they're running around with a mohawk. I mean, come on. And they're like, no, did you read the lore? And it's like, what lore? I didn't know anything about the lore because you had to dig for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, and I'll never forget that, they pulled it up for me and I read it, and that was a turning point right there. And ever since then, I've been really attached to the Saint 14 character and the lore and everything behind it. And I'll never forget that moment where I picked on the mohawk and it turned out to be the most awesome thing ever.
Nice. Wow.
That, and like we had a friend go AFK during a Kingsfall raid, and we pushed him from all the way to the, I always call it Narfel the Garthok, but it's what was the ogre that you fought?
Gorgoth?
Golgoth.
That one. The maze leading up to it.
Uh-huh.
We pushed somebody that
What?
went AFK all the way through that maze, and we actually would set up like stairs, like people would crouch.
I was gonna say,
like, take turns like shoulder charging and pushing them, and we would get them up over all the little barriers, and we pushed him all the way to the door. And he came back and he goes, "What the f, guys?" And that was about an hour and a half.
I was gonna say, man.
Yeah, because you had those holes and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you had those little areas you had to jump over too.
Yeah,
That's
we
crazy.
managed it. We got him around. There was actually edges you could push somebody across, and we figured it out. But yeah, we said, well, we couldn't go any further. So we were waiting for him to come back, and it turned out to be an hour and a half. And we pushed him all the way through that maze, and we got him to the door, and they ended up showing back up right when we got to the door. And we told him, don't move, because we were so close to getting him there. And that's just one of the fun things about Destiny raids. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in them. They're just so much fun. Even if somebody goes AFK for an hour and a half and the five of you end up entertaining yourselves in the meantime and goofing off and doing silly stuff like that. And then you also have the dick wall. I mean, come on. Kingsfall dick wall was...
Yeah.
That was so trolly. Like, I still
many
love videos.
So many, I know. Yeah.
Yep. Just awesome times and memories. I mean, for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sir, so your illustrious career precedes you and your reputation in that. So what got you involved in mental health?
Well, I don't know about a reputation. I mean, I told you guys earlier, and if you've ever heard me, talk in the past, I really do consider myself an average Joe. I see so many other people out there doing great things throughout the community, in and out of the community, and I couldn't hold a candle to them. And just so many amazing, talented people. But I used to be, I've been in several Destiny clans. And one of them was Dad's of Destiny. And at the time we were helping with charity streams. That was my first exposure to charity streams. So it got me interested. It's like, you're giving back. And I would always donate to charities. And it's like, I'd like to help. So it started out with that. And we got done wrapping up one for, I think, like Stack Up or something back 4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember Stack Up. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, person I was working with, goes, well, what are we going to do next? And the idea came up for mental health. Focus on, let's do something for mental health in the community. And it was like, I'll run with it. And I spent the next year working with Young Khan, creating kind of like a logo for the venture to make the predecessor to the nonprofit now, St. 14 Project, and worked with him and other people in the community and put together a charity stream focusing on mental health organizations that make a positive impact in our community and the gaming community at large. So we wanted to give them attention and also raise money for them because they do so much for us. I mean, mental health in the gaming community is not really talked about. It is more now, and it's becoming more like destigmatized with opening up about mental health and sharing and, not being judged by people. And it's really great to see where it's come to. And in the past, so many people, and you can relate being in a fire team for, 2-3 months at a time with the same fire team every week, you get to know people's emotions and you can tell when somebody was off. So it started out with creating kind of like a peer support network where it would be like we would reach out to people in our fire teams and other people like, hey, are you all right? You seem kind of, not yourself tonight. And it would kind of allow people that outlet to talk about it. And some people aren't so good with talking about their emotions and everything like face to face. Like if you or me were sitting across the table from each other, chances are you wouldn't be as open with what's bothering you than being in the comfort in your safe space on your couch or wherever it may be, with your headphones and your mic and playing a video game, which helps you relax and kind of in your comfort space. And behind your screen name, your gamer tag, where you have that, and nobody really knows, your real name and all this other stuff, and be like, oh, you see Jerry, and it allowed them to open up a little bit more, and people were more open with sharing, and I started to see that and see what an impact this had on people in a positive note, and how it would affect them in the long term with having that outlet. That we started doing charity streams for organizations. We did 6 of them in 1 year, and we did them for organizations like Take This, Rise Above the Disorder, Trevor Project, and several others, to raise awareness for them, also gather resources, and also, shine a light on them that, you're not alone. There are organizations and people out there that are here to help. And shortly after, actually during the first stream, our clinical director actually was assisting people in the Twitch chat, with conversing with them and giving them a little bit of support there. And we made a Discord server from there. And so that was kind of the beginning right there.
And that's your Guardian's mental health Twitch stream, correct?
That's what it is now. Yeah.
Right.
We actually went through a lot of growing. I mean, a lot of work has gone into it. And it's just been kind of nonstop. We started out as St. 14 Project.
That's what I know you from, yeah.
Yep, and that was absolutely fantastic. But it got in my head. You know what? Being St. 14 Project, we're kind of underneath somebody else's character.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We don't really, I don't feel like getting sued. So we ended up growing, and I had a graphic designer from the community, Rotten Jackal, actually worked with me and created the Project Guardians.
Yeah, I love his art. His art is fantastic, man.
It is, and he's a great person. He's so fun to work with too.
Right.
Just a real down to earth, just very understanding. You could tell him the most like minimal thing, and he will know exactly. Like he'll read your mind. He's amazing, and he's done so much cool stuff. I look at some of the stuff he does now that he posts on Twitter for other people, and it's like, man, I'm gonna redo our stuff. You get kind of like that jealous, like, man, that's so good. Right. But and after that, we grew to a point where we had volunteer mental health professionals working with us, volunteering. We had other staff members, and I started to educate myself more because I wanted to be able to support people more and give back more. So the best way I figured I could do that was to go through more training and do anything I possibly can to take that experience and pay it forward to people reaching out to us for support and resources.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't know, we actually grew into what is known now as Guardiansmh, which stands for Guardians Mental Health.
Right.
We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We're focused on promoting mental health awareness and meaningful resources throughout the gaming community. And we act as a first step, assisting individuals with gathering meaningful resources in a safe and inclusive atmosphere. So we encourage people to open up to us and not hesitate asking for help. We encourage people to reach out and seek professional help. And if you don't know that first step, which can be the hardest step for many people,
right,
reach out to us and we will do everything in our ability to help guide you to the proper resources for you. And sometimes you just need a shoulder to lean on and somebody to listen. I mean, just venting, it can be very therapeutic in itself, and having an outlet for that can be just a game changer for people. So go ahead.
No, I was just curious, since we're on that subject, not to put you on the spot here, but do you have any general stats about mental health and gaming, or
what kind of stats are you looking for?
Oh, I mean, as far as, maybe, I don't know. I was looking at your website, and you had some stats listed out there. It was like in bold, and I thought that was very interesting. What you had, like, how many people deal with having mental. It's really weird to say what like depression, for instance. That I think I was reading. I think it was on your Guardians mental health site. And it was about a percentage of Guardians that experienced depression throughout the year, and it was just some general stats. I didn't know if you knew those offhand.
I mean, those stats change.
I'm sure they do.
We get more and more statistics, and we get those from other organizations as well. NAMI is one that provides a lot of research in those areas and everything. But one of the ones that I really, really enjoy sharing with people is 1 in 5 people in the U.S., and this is U.S. based, 1 in 5 people will experience a mental health condition in any given year.
Okay.
So if you translate that to gamers, there is roughly 164 million gamers in the United States.
Wow. That's a lot more than I thought.
Now, if you do 1 in 5, that's 32.8 million gamers.
Wow.
That will experience a mental health condition. Now, out of that 32 million, how many suffer in silence or don't
say anything,
seek professional help?
Yeah. And we've talked to past guests that also work in this field as well with you. Chris 3711, he comes to mind. Great guy in our community, and we're working on something in our Discord as well. Like a channel or something where we can all kind of chill and vibe. And
Chris has worked with us for years, and I'll tell you what, I owe so much to Chris, and I love the guy to death. He's so knowledgeable, so empathetic, and he's also mental health first aid certified as well.
Yeah, he is.
He went through the training for that, and he's a true asset to the community and just everybody in general. I mean, I honestly can't sing his praises more. I would give him a big old wet kiss on the cheek if I could. right now. I might,
He may not like
East.
that. He may not like that.
He might like it though. You never know.
That's true.
I'm not going to speak for him, so I'll let you.
Guarantee if he listens to this, he's gonna blush a little bit.
He's not far from you, so I mean, you never know.
No, he's not. No, he's an amazing person, and,
Yeah.
and I love the guy. He's great, and
Yeah.
he's great. But yeah, he's got a lot of stats too, and a lot of information. He retains a lot of this stuff, and he's very passionate about mental health and also community as well. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One thing
Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to say real quick is that, I mean, I love how humble you are about all of this.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Just quite frankly, I mean, everything that you just said is, I mean, anything but average.
sorry if I chuckle a little bit. I have a hard time like seeing what other people see, because I look at myself in my position and where I am, and I just look at myself as just the average Joe guy,
Yeah.
gamer, trying to just try and make a positive difference
Mhm.
for
Exactly.
people.
Exactly.
And it's not a one person job at all. It takes an entire team, and we have so many other individuals that are on our staff now, and we have volunteers, professionals. We have counselors and RNs and psychologists and you name it. We have I think we have 11 volunteering mental health professionals right now. And then we also have all of our mods I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit.
No, it's okay.
We
It's
have
okay.
a verified Discord server.
Oh, wow.
So our verified Discord server is a safe space that we encourage people to come and be a part of it and seek resources or peer support in an area that there's no judgment. It's just a safe space for people to share their thoughts and everything like that. And every one of our mods goes through mental health first aid training. So every single mod on our team has some form of training to have those tough conversations, because when people reach out and they're depressed or could be in crisis or just being in a manic state, and some people just don't know how to have those conversations. We want to best support the community by having at least our mods trained in mental health first aid, so they can have those conversations and be able to guide them to proper resources, or at least first aid is, just pretty much supporting somebody until a professional can arrive.
Right.
So
right.
a lot of the times, one of our, whether it be our clinical director or one of the social workers or somebody else who is available, can make it and carry that conversation further if it needs to go any further. But a lot of times it comes down to just somebody just having them listen, having somebody listen.
Well, I noticed
having
on
somebody there to open up to
Yeah.
and just share and get these feelings out, because the more you keep things in, it's just going to fester and it's going to get worse and worse until you just blow up. So
Well,
having that outlet is huge.
I noticed on your Twitter at Average Joe, that you have like a daily mental health check-in, and you have like you choose like a different emoticon to kind of let everybody know how you're feeling that day. I thought that was invaluable, man. I know a lot of people, that's a good outlet for people,
We do that. I do that every week. I try and do it about midweek, and about midweek, I'll put it out, and we encourage everybody to interact with it and share how you're doing that day, or how you're doing that far, at this point in the week. Are you having a good week? Are you having a bad week? Do you need a little bit of support? And some of the people that share that they need support, we will reach out to them
Right.
and see if there's anything we can do, whether, if they're just having a bad week and just kind of want to talk about it, or something a little bit deeper where we can help guide them to proper resources. The way we look at it, there is no mental health organization that is a one-stop shop. And if they think they are, they're naive, because there's no way one organization can support everybody. And we look at it as we can do more good working together with other organizations than we can by ourselves. So we have relationships with, I can't honestly give you a count. There's so many of them, but we have contacts with Trevor Project, Rise Above the Disorder. If you're having trouble with, say, you were in therapy and you lost your insurance and you don't know how to pay for your therapy sessions, we can get you in contact with our contact at Rise Above the Disorder and get paperwork filed that they specialize in covering the costs of therapy sessions for individuals.
That's cool.
If somebody reaches out from the LGBTQ plus community, we are trained from the Safe Zone Project, but we will guide them to the proper resources for them. So if we know an organization that is best suited for that person's situation and to support them further, we'll actually contact our contact at the organization and bridge the relationship between the individual and the organization. That way it's an easy transition over. They have a heads up and they know that they're going to get the best resources available to them. So we do everything in our power to do stuff like that.
It's invaluable, man. I wanted to emphasize two other things that I read on your Twitter bio. The first was Pixels After Dark.
You read Twitter.
Yeah, I punished myself. No, you had that you were part of Pixels After Dark. What is that all about?
Pixels After Dark is a kind of a passion project of several of us. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm very adamant and supportive of the art community.
Okay, that's part of that. Gotcha.
I love art and all that. Pixels After Dark is a podcast that focuses on gaming and art. So we'll talk to artists from the community, artists outside the community, like David LaRoe. He is a fantastic artist. We'll talk to him. We'll talk to game designers and people that work on skyboxes and anybody in the industry. And we'll talk about different art techniques and tips and stuff like that. And we also would do a 60-second challenge during it as well. So you would kind of see their skill. One of the funnest ones we had was Clint Felker from the community. He is a tremendously talented artist. This guy did a 60-second, actually, I think at the time it was 30 seconds. Did a 30-second challenge. He made like a steampunk robot. He continued to work on that as we talked to him about his art styles and how to approach lighting and how to do all sorts of different things. Kind of helpful tips for any upcoming artists. We wanted to create a podcast that you could get something from. It would help you bridge, raise your own skill set and encourage you to continue to, grow as an artist with, tips and everything else from artists throughout the community and outside. So we did that. Actually, we've been on hiatus for a little while now. It's been a crazy year. So Tyler, I actually do that with TR Illustrates and Pixelated Traveler from the community. So you might know them. They're part of the DCA, Destiny Community Artists. And so Tyler and Ruby do that with me, and it's been such a crazy year. Tyler actually is a paramedic, and so with COVID and everything, it's been very hectic with him. He's got a young handsome little boy at home, and Ruby's been so busy with her work too. We just haven't been able to find time to do the next episode, but we're planning stuff for next year already. So it's been and everything with the nonprofit, it's been very busy this year. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah, burn the candle on both ends, so to speak.
I was gonna say, man, just take a nap now. I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
You know what? 5-minute power nap, you'd be surprised. No, yeah,
yeah. I hear you.
Really, what the day to day actually is for me. I'll go to work about 5:30 in the morning, and I'll work till about 5 o'clock at night, and I'll come home and we'll cook dinner, play with the girls. We'll have some fun. We'll all get cleaned up and everything. And at bedtime, 10 o'clock p.m., from 10 till like 1 in the morning, you will find me in my office. And I'm usually doing paperwork, making mental health kits, filing stuff, having a meeting, you name it. Or if it's Saturday night, I'll be playing a video game, and it's going to be Destiny, and I'm going to be rocking that.
I've seen you hopping on. I've seen you on Steam.
Yeah, man. Don't hesitate to reach out. I mean, usually most of the time we're just goofing off. So
Sure. Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
It's a lot of fun, but everything is it's so worth it. And seeing where we were a year ago when we got our nonprofit status, and the thought Dr. Williams and I had was we could do so much more for the community and everyone by becoming a nonprofit and being a full-fledged organization that came from the Destiny community, which is amazing in itself right there. We're all guardians. So, and we're guardians of mental health. So going from getting our status, which I will give you one suggestion, one tip. Don't make a nonprofit.
A lot of red tape, I'm sure.
The paperwork alone is a beast. And I swear to God, it was created to discourage people from going any further. But we have the best nonprofit attorney in the world. And Brianne was so helpful with everything and got us up and going. And from where we were a year ago to where we are today is night and day. And I'm so proud of everyone working, for the nonprofit right now. None of us collect a paycheck, just so right off the top. None of us get anything. If it would be nice, but no, everything that comes in goes right back out. We started doing conventions earlier this year. We are partnered with PAX conventions, if you've heard of them.
Oh, we've heard of them.
We host a booth in their diversity lounge, and this was our first one this year. And it was great meeting people out. Pale Rider, he's like a mountain of a man. I stand at like 6'2", 6'3".
Really?
He was taller than me. He is a massive man. I'm telling you.
We might know something about that guy. Yeah.
He
A little bit.
I've never seen somebody rock out a fanny pack as well as him.
Really? I never would have expected that.
It was a St. Jude's fanny pack, dude, and man, he's an amazing person. I love Pale so much.
He's probably the only guy who could pull it off. So
yeah,
and nobody's gonna tell him any different.
Exactly.
You're not gonna tell a 6'4", like 250-pound, just monster of a man Viking that he can't have a fanny pack. I mean, come on. He'll just laugh at you, and it's like that's not a funny laugh. That's not like a haha.
That's like a you're gonna die.
yeah. What's he gonna do with that fanny pack? No, but no. It's so incredible where we came from, and I've been to PAX several times. This was our first time hosting a booth in Boston this past year, and I walked around the diversity lounge in the floor, and to tell you the truth, I didn't get away from the booth very often. My downtime was when the convention closed, and I just walked the show floor that was empty, and while they're pushing everybody out, they left me alone because I was an exhibitor. So it was my self-care, just walking around the closed floor, just kind of taking it in. It was a very like, oh, it was almost like therapeutic after so much stimulation with, 10,000 people coming to this event every day and 4,000 of them coming through the diversity lounge. It can be overwhelming for people.
Yeah.
And I loved every moment, but I walked around every single booth and I noticed that every booth had great resources, but it was like a pamphlet, a card, this and that. And I started talking with Dr. Williams or Dr. Goku about developing a mental health kit, essentially. And I'm going to go on. I told you guys I ramble a lot.
Good.
Developing a mental health kit that we can give out at the conventions. That way, when somebody steps away from our booth, they have something of value in their hands that they're going to walk away with and go, this isn't just a pamphlet. I'm going to throw him this giant, convention bag, and it's going to sit there and I'll find it again in 4 years with some patches at the bottom. This is a kit that is curated by not only our clinical director and vetted, from our clinical director and staff, but also volunteering mental health professionals, and then also collaborating professionals from other organizations and also, just private practices, helping us vent meaningful resources for individuals that we can print on cards, from grounding exercises to breathing exercises to how to create your own self-care plan, and educating people on what the 4 pillars of mental and physical health are, to sensory items for supporting individuals. And we've wanted to focus these kits on gamers, so they're focused on supporting gamers before, during, and after gaming sessions. So you kind of have a little bit for each phase of that. And one of those is actually a fidget items for sensory. So you can kind of fidget with that if you have active, fingers or anxiety. There's a sleeping mask that can help with if you're having a panic attack. It'll actually calm you. And
really?
Everything in these kits. Yep. We have a custom coloring book we actually made, and a bunch of artists from the community actually came together with us. Wow. And we're working on adding pages. This coloring book that you can only get in these mental health kits. And when we first shared that, people were asking, how much is it? I want to buy it. It's free.
Yeah. The adult coloring books are big right now.
Yeah.
There's
and it's a good size one too.
Good stress relievers. Yeah.
They are. They're really good for stress and anxiety and just grounding. It's a really good technique that you can use for that. And then we also have a journal in there for you to write, and we encourage people. But we also have a letter of encouragement in every single kit from our staff, signed by all staff members and directors. And then also a uses sheet that tells you what every item in the kit is and how it can benefit you in a positive way and how to use it going forward. So instead of taking a sleeping mask out going, I could use that, just to say, this is what you could use it for. An ice pack. We have an ice pack that we put in, and we rotate all these resources and items in it every series. So we'll do series of 50. And every 50 will rotate resources and items out of it. But the ice packs are really good too for kind of like cold therapy. So if you find yourself having a panic attack or in a manic state, you could actually hold it in your hand. And they will snap you out of it and ground you in the moment. If you're anxious and you have a lot of anxiety, you could actually put an ice pack on the back of your neck, just above your shoulders, like where your back meets your neck, just right there in the middle. And it'll actually help reduce stress and anxiety.
Well, I got to try that
because it's a grounding technique. Our clinical director loves doing this one too. If you don't have access to an ice pack, grab a glass of water and put ice in it. Make that son of a gun cold,
right?
And then stick your hand in it.
Really?
If you're in a manic state and you're having a panic attack, or if you put your hand in that water, it is going to snap you out of it and ground you in the immediate moment.
Wow. Okay.
It's a great technique. I don't recommend keeping your hand in there for very long, but it's a technique you can use.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
After about 20 seconds, you're not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
feel
yeah.
it, but
Exactly.
there are other resources, and we wanted to make these for conventions, but COVID hit.
Right.
So with COVID hitting, there's no live conventions after Boston.
That makes it tough. Yeah.
It was really tough. So about end of July, we had a vote, and it was, what can we do? Because so many people were starting to get cabin fever, being inside for 3 months.
Sure.
Not, socializing or anything like that. And what can we do? Let's start mailing the mental health kits to people.
Oh, good idea.
Let's take it one step further, and we're going to offer this as an open program for people to request a kit and have it mailed to them at no cost to them.
And people are more likely to use them too if it's in their own home and they're not at a face to face with you. They might shy away, saying, "Oh no, I'm good. And if it gets delivered to your house, then you'd be like, you might actually sit down and read out everything and actually say, "Oh, okay, this is a good technique. I got to try this."
While you're reading it, you'll be playing with the little fidget item. We've tried a dozen of them, and we have 4 that people really like.
That's a great idea.
And you'll be fidgeting with everything and just reading it through. We also have a crisis safety plan in there, and it's actually printed out, so you can fill it out, put it on your refrigerator.
Very
so
nice.
if you're in crisis and you can't get the words out, you can grab that and hand it to somebody.
Very nice, man.
And it gives
That's
them all the
fantastic.
information right there. And there's so much in there. I mean, you guys having me on, I'd love to send you guys one each for sure.
I won't say no.
Well, we'll get together after the show.
I mean, I might have had a panic attack or two. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? I actually think everybody has.
I think everybody has too. Yeah, I mean, it's always. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I was like, I am touched that you would do that, but I would like to see that go to somebody who maybe needs it more.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
fantastic of you to say, but you know what? Everybody deserves one.
I think everybody needs one.
And so many people want to pay it forward, and that's so humbling and amazing of people to just pay it forward. But in the way we look at it, everybody could use a little extra help sometimes.
Especially right now, man. Especially right now.
It's really tough right now for people. Really tough.
Well,
hopefully 2021 will be a little bit better. I think everybody's just kind of educating, getting used to it. I mean, we just went a whole year with this. And I wear a mask every day for like 12 hours every day, and it sucks. And I have a big old beard, so it ain't exactly the best thing in the world.
You have a glorious beard. I've seen that picture of that beard, man.
Yes.
Put this behind a paper mask, I look like a Frenchman wearing a thong. I mean, it's just terrible.
It's just true. I can see that.
Can we make that the title?
It's terrible. You could picture that.
Wait, a Frenchman with a speed.
A Frenchman wearing a thong. Let's put that as a title.
Okay.
That's wrong on many levels. I regret that now. No, I would make that joke at work too with customers. Now I have a big old pullover mask that covers my whole beard and everything. I love, but but no, everybody needs a little bit of help sometimes, and paying it forward is fantastic. But that's just one of the programs, and we're actually testing out bags now too, poly bags, and it will be easier to hand them out at conventions as well, because we plan on bringing those forward to live conventions where we'll be at a booth. You can come by our booth and you can grab one of these boxes or one of these poly bags, a mental health kit to bring with you. So you have something that has value to it. And every single one of them also has a free game. We're partnered with Tiny Builds as a publisher and developer. They donate video game codes to every single kit. So every single kit, to keep the gamer aspect to it, gets a free game with it. So you get a free game with it from Tiny Builds, and then also a free mobile game from Six Wing Studios. And their game is actually it's a self-help. It helps with meditation and everything. You get this cute little pet, a Maru, and you can work with that, and it actually it reacts to you as well. So you kind of have to like take care of it, nurture it, and then meditation also helps. And then we also are work with Chris from Plane. It's a meditation game, so it's a PC game, and you actually you see it from through the third person, and you start with a campfire by the seaside, and as you meditate and you ground and you go through some of the resources and everything, this fox kind of walks around, and you go, and the world, the more you meditate and everything, the world develops around you. So you'll go from the seaside to having saplings, and then the saplings, you'll see fireflies, and then you'll also start growing a forest. And then eventually, after about 10 hours of playing this game and meditating, and it encourages you to take breaks as well. Those two games are not something that you're going to sit down and play for 4 hours. This is something that you would check in, at some point during the day, do a 10, 15-minute meditation, ground yourself, and go on with the rest of your day. So it's just a helpful little check-in to bring with you. So you can have that in a mobile game, or you can have it in a PC. So we have a lot of things in these kits, and
wow.
Such a great idea, man.
This is, I'm just like blown away.
You broke him. You broke Hazel.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to. He paid me. No.
You know how many shows it's been since he's been speechless? I can't believe it. You did it.
But it's just one of the few things that we can do to help support Guardians and gamers. We care about everybody in the community, and we want to do everything we can to support everybody and do what we can to make a positive difference in the gaming community. And we actually worked with several organizations recently, and live streaming has been big, but it's been massive this past year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's had both positive and negative impacts on it. Content creators and streamers create entertainment. Now, with creating entertainment, you create safe spaces. It's just inherent. It's going to happen. Creating a safe space, people feel comfortable, they feel safe, and then they begin to open up. And Twitch chats aren't the right place to be sharing a lot of things, but it catches a lot of streamers off guard, and they are not
they're not equipped.
They're not equipped, but there are some professionals that do stream, but they're not your mental health professional.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So one of the things, and we were working on this before, and then another organization, actually Dr. Bean from Leyline, Geek Therapeutics, reached out and asked if we would like to work with them and collaborate with a streamer mental health kit training program. So we started working with them from there. And then we also started working with Geeks Like Us, Guardians Mental Health, Geeks Therapeutics, and Leyline, and some other researchers and several streamers that assisted. Mixiety was one of them. That came together, and we pulled all of our resources together, and we developed a training program for streamers and mods on how to approach situations when people reach out into your Twitch chats and they start to open up, how to guide them to resources, and how to recognize situations in, say, like parasocial relationships. We pulled all these resources, and also our RTS bot. Late last year, around this time, actually, I created a program called the RTS bot. It stands for Real Time Support Bot.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have resources in our server that was just an endless scroll of resources. That is not very good if you're trying to pinpoint a specific one.
No.
So I started looking around, and it was one of those things where it's like, there are no bots or anything out there for resources, especially in this area. Between Discord and Twitch, it doesn't exist. So I went to a meeting at Twitch at the Amazon headquarters in Boston while I was out there, and I talked with some gaming developers and sat through one of their little seminars and everything, and I told them my idea and everything, and they helped me begin, and I learned how to write in Java. So I never knew how to write code. I taught myself how to write code. And I created now Cram as actually our lead programmer, and he took the bot to the next level. But the original bot it's a 24/7 on-demand mental health and crisis resources bot that has everything from educational resources on illnesses and conditions. It has resources for organizations, crisis, you name it. It's got, if you have a question about prescription you're taking, there's a resource there to get connected with a 24/7 hotline for a pharmacist. You would leave a message for them, and within about 10 minutes, they're going to reply with whatever question you have about a prescription that you might have. And then also, there's over 100 resources on it. We would sit here all night if I tried to list them all. And it is now it's a verified bot on Discord. It's in over 550 Discord servers and almost 50 Twitch channels right now. And we also have a website for it as well to make it accessible on mobile. So you can have these resources available to you anytime, anywhere. So
can you do us a favor? Can you send that in our chat? Can you send that bot link so we can have that in ours?
Sure. Make that donation for $25 and I will send it. No,
I would do that.
The thing
anyway.
is
done.
These are all free resources. So we wanted it to be easy access for people to get resources that they need when they need it, where they need it. So we created this bot, and it's just another thing. But the training program that we put together is accessible from our website, and it's a low cost because we all came together and pooled all of our resources. So we're not alone with creating it. But it covers you for, I think it's about $35, but we do give away gift cards. I think it's about every month we give away gift cards and stuff for training programs for it. Our ambassadors all have access to it as well. And it brings you through a really fantastic training. You get a certification at the end, and then you also get access to the streamer Discord server where you have access to mental health professionals for any sort of guidance past that. And then you also have the large peer support network that we have with our Discord server as well, and then access to the bot and everything else. And you get to watch a nice little 15-minute video of me saying, "Hi, my name's Joe Telesk. I'm the founder and executive director of Guardiansmh Mental Health," and talking about how to utilize the RTS bot and how to get going on it. So,
well,
nice.
Remember what I said about rambling?
That's okay.
This wasn't really rambling, though, man.
We wanted this information. We wanted you to get this information out to everybody. So
yeah, exactly.
We just sat back and let you do it because it's important. No, it's obvious you're very passionate about what you do, man. Yeah,
exactly. I am, and I absolutely love any opportunity I get to talk about it and just helping people. You can look on our website. We actually have a lot more resources and programs that we have available for individuals, but also more that we're working on in the background as well. We have a lot of things. We have a meeting later this weekend for staff and everybody to what we're going to do for next year and what programs we're focusing on. So we're going to help grow some, and then we're going to also release some new ones as well. And we actually have one of them that we sent to an individual that we met. I actually met him at PAX East, and I talk to her every so often, but she is one of the professionals and researchers at Johns Hopkins University, and she focuses on the gaming side, kind of like statistics and research. So we actually sent her one of our programs to look over and give any feedback on. So everything is vetted by mental health professionals and trained individuals. Anything that we have on our RTS bot or any of our programs is picked through with a fine-tooth comb by professionals, mental health professionals.
That's awesome.
So you're not going to get Joe life coach here telling you to do this. Nope. Everything is vetted by mental health professionals, and it's all meaningful. Everything there is available is is free, and it's there to make a difference. And if anybody's got any suggestions, we are very open to anybody suggesting anything to us, and we love growing and working with people.
Very cool, dude.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for all that you do for the community and all that will be doing in the future as well. And that goes to everybody at Guardiansmh, past, present, and future.
Yeah, Dr. Williams is great. Matt's been absolutely fantastic. He's one of our he's our licensed master social worker and one of our directors, and just Nate and Alan and Gene, and I could sit here all freaking night and list everybody off, but everybody is just absolutely amazing and works so well together.
Very cool.
It's very, very just warms my heart.
That's great. Well,
we got it. We got to
thank you so much for that. But
yeah. we got to ask them. We got to ask them the signature questions, Hazel.
Yep, exactly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of learn more about you. So,
yeah, okay,
yeah, exactly. So these are kind of like the fun questions.
Yeah.
So, do you have a motto or mantra that you live by?
Is this a PG-13 show? Is swearing allowed?
It's R. You're good.
Yeah.
It's one that I've only shared with one other person, and it's something that I learned a long time ago that somebody shared with me, and it's keep fucking going.
Nice. I like that one.
It's just one of those things where you wake up in the morning, you don't want to go to work. You just
that's motivating.
Not feeling the day.
That is motivating.
Keep fucking going. Don't let yourself, fall behind. And that's something that motivates me to keep going. I mean, just you will have bad days. My morning started terrible today. You will have bad days, but tomorrow is another opportunity.
Yeah.
Tomorrow could be different. Tomorrow could be the best day of your life, or it could just be a good day.
Well,
but just keep fucking going.
That's a great saying.
I like it.
So I said the F-bomb probably more times right now than I have said in the last year on anything recorded.
No,
so feel free to delete some of that.
No, Hazel fills that up plenty of times a show. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
No, you're allowed, man.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be you.
Well,
if the other guys on the GMH podcast were here, their eyes would be like the size
rolling,
of like the moon, and be like, "You got Joe to swear."
That's great, man. I love it. Well,
we didn't get Joe to swear. We got Joe to be Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, man.
True.
And I was going to ask what's behind your gamer tag, but I think we all kind of know what's behind your gamer tag. You're just an average Joe, right? I mean, you've said it several times
That's
tonight.
it, man. I'm just an average Joe, man.
All right, then I'm going to ask you.
And I just happen to be named Joe.
I'm going to ask you a little bit harder hitting one then. Here we go.
All right.
What's one thing that maybe the gaming community at large may not know about you? Could be big, small, anything you want. A little fun fact.
May not know about me.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm pretty open.
Okay. All right.
I'm not really.
We get creative.
100%.
We get creative answers sometimes from this one, but it's such a great question because everyone always has a front, and when people let their hair down a little bit, so to speak, it's the kind of thing where people, we've all shared things that people maybe didn't know about us, like I used to play with army men when I was a kid, and I'd line them up in my bedroom against Matchbox cars, things like that. But no, I was just curious. I mean, you don't have to answer it. It's if you feel you're pretty open.
I'm just
already.
trying to.
It could be something very small. It doesn't have to be anything very big.
It could be. We could find out something later during the show.
Exactly.
Maybe he'll come up with something like hey, I was in band, and that was something that nobody knew. That's happened 4 times where people are like, I don't really have anything, and then at the end they're like,
it comes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
No, I
So-
wasn't in a band or anything. I played football. I played lacrosse. I did a lot of sports and stuff. I was actually, here's the thing. I was a climbing instructor for Cornell University.
There we go.
wow.
See? Perfect.
Yeah, I used to instruct for their outdoor education program through Cornell, and I would train people on the basics from learning how to belay to going ultralight hikes for 3 weeks out in California or somewhere, or I would help some people, actually 2 people, I actually helped map out they hike the entire Appalachian Trail.
Wow.
And I helped them set up their loadout and their packs out for every single section in between post offices. And we would sit there and we would have every single pretty much care package all mapped out, boxed and everything from food, water, clothes, equipment, anything. And then also a return box for equipment you didn't need.
Right.
That way you can keep your pack weight to a certain amount.
That's a
and
good idea.
I would do climbing ventures out in the Gunks in New Paltz, New York. And I would do a lot of stuff. I would train people on self-rescue and different things too. So
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
See? Learn something every day.
Yeah. Do you still climb at all, or hike?
Actually, it's funny. I love going hiking. Central New York, especially the Ithaca area, has gorges, and it is gorgeous. If that doesn't sound funny in itself, gorges are gorgeous. I love going on hikes and everything. It's so cool too. I'm a nerd, but there's one, the Tunkhannock Falls, that you can hike up the middle of the water and during the real hot part of the summer, and it's refreshing and everything. But we always get to a part where I'm always like the tour guide, this section of the creek right here was actually a part of the Arcadia Sea back in prehistoric times, where all underwater. So you could actually see the original ocean floor of the Arcadia Sea from way back before the Ice Age.
That's so going to be a soundbite at the end of the show.
But yeah, I
precious.
haven't gone climbing in some time. I still go up to Cornell and do indoor climbing. We don't have any climbing walls here for any gyms. The closest one, I believe, is in Buffalo. I have a membership to it still, somehow. But I still go up to Cornell, and that's the closest one, and it's the largest indoor natural rock wall on the eastern seaboard. They're all cut right into the wall, and it's all natural holds and everything, and it's a really unique place. And it goes 50 feet up, and 40 feet. Goes up 40 feet, and has ground acres and everything else. Very safe, but I still go up there probably a couple times a year. But outdoor climbing, I haven't been out since my second daughter was born, so probably about 5 years ago.
When you have kids, it's different.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, my wife
Put on that dad bod weight,
my wife says I couldn't ride motorcycles anymore when I had the young kids, so it was. Yeah, I get it, man.
Mine was she didn't like me climbing. The last time I went out, a friend of mine fell.
Oh.
I had a friend of mine, Paul, who did the lead climb and would set the anchors. And we only went up to, I think, the second pitch, which is still 100 feet off the ground, 200 feet. And he fell and he froze. So he was a younger guy. And I tried to convince him from a distance because I was below him. And I ended up having to perform a rescue on him. And bring him back down, and he just kind of locked up. And so I brought him down. So it was a little bit of a, kind of like this is very dangerous. And I'm very aware of the risks involved. Sure. Every year, experienced climbers will actually belay themselves or rappel off the end of their rope. These are seasoned climbers.
Oh my God.
That will just not be paying attention and just right off the end of the rope, and it's very tragic. And it's one of the first things that I train people for outdoor climbing. When you're outdoor climbing, you check your knots, you check everything twice, You communicate, you knot the end of your ropes.
Yeah.
Because if you're not paying attention, at least the knot's going to stop you.
Right.
You know, it's just another safety. But yeah, I had to perform a rescue on him. I brought him down to the ground. He kind of chilled for the rest of the time, and I was checking out a crack later that afternoon. We were going to climb a crack, and I'm checking it out, and I almost stepped on a copperhead. And
oh my God.
It was like, son of a gun. It's like, man, what are you doing out here?
You don't want to lose muscle activity up that high. No way.
No. Well, fortunately, this was on the ground. So
okay. All right,
but
cool.
The copperheads usually stay on the backside of the gunks, right. But this one for some reason was right there, and I didn't realize it. And I was checking out a crack, and
oh my God,
when you have 3 guys behind you going,
yeah,
and you're like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't move your foot. And I looked down, and it was right between my legs. I almost stepped on it, and I had to actually climb up the crack and then traverse over and come back down to get away from it.
Oh my God.
But I'll tell you what, climbing is an experience not very many people get to enjoy. But I will tell you, it's one of the most amazing things in the world to do, because if you can get past the fear and everything of heights and all that, and like you're climbing on things that are almost flat, like it doesn't look like there's any significant holds, but you get up there and you find holds and finger holds and everything, and you get up there and the birds fly so close to you, like you can see their eyes moving, and you can see for miles. And this is a perspective on this spot that not very many people will get to see, and it's one of those things where it kind of lives with you for the rest of your life. Like that was an experience, and I'll never forget it. It's amazing.
Well, hey,
like skydiving.
And it's just like I used to scuba dive too, and the fish would not know what to say, or not say. God, it sounds stupid.
The fish wouldn't know what to say.
No, they wouldn't know what to do. They would just sit there and look at you, and you're like, I could use a spear gun and just take care of you right now. You would never even know what hit you. Yeah.
I mean, you go into their environment, and they don't see you as a threat. They're just more curious.
They just don't see many people like you there. I mean, that's just it.
Yeah.
Well,
scuba diving's a lot of fun,
Mr. Average Joe. Thank you
sir.
For sharing your life, brother. I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I don't get very many opportunities to talk about.
Well, you sound like an interesting guy, man. So, and my God, you sound busy too.
Just one of those wild and crazy guys.
Man. Hazel, I think we got a speed run coming up here.
I believe so.
We'll do that right after this.
Call the Praxic Order, call the Thanatonauts, the Ginseng Scribes, call everyone so they can witness you.
All right, listeners, this segment is called the Speed Run. This is where we have a database of over 125 randomly asked questions, and Mr. Average Joe here will have 60 seconds to answer as many as he can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers, and at the end of the year, the guest with the most answered will win a prize and title of 2020 Speedrun Champion. The questions are randomly asked, so no one can memorize the order, and, just answer quickly whatever comes to mind. Tonight, I'm going to ask the questions randomly from our list. Hazel is the timekeeper and quality control expert. In the event of a questionable answer, Hazel's decision will be final. Xanafan711 is our current leader at 27. So, Average Joe, you ready, man?
I am. I'm sorry if I messed up your...
No. We're good. No. We're fine, man.
It was like 125 questions. It's like, oh my gosh.
No.
This list from.
No, we got these lists from our community. Our community.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have actually a whole new batch for next year. We're going to add to these. So we're going to have like 200 questions next year, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, it's good. It's pretty.
We're going to have like 300.
Oh, good. All right, here we go.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Warlock, Titan, or Hunter?
Titan.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Favorite color?
Green.
Pulse, Scout, or Auto Rifle?
Scout.
Cave or Treehouse?
Treehouse.
What would be your superpower?
Light.
Gold or silver?
Silver.
Grenades or melees?
Melees.
What is your beverage of choice?
Sweet tea.
What one thing annoys you most?
Chewing with your mouth open.
Anna Bray or 801?
Anna Bray.
What is your best name for a pet?
Bingo.
Is white chocolate actually chocolate?
No.
Do you have a tattoo?
Many.
Void, solar, or arc?
Void.
What is your favorite Destiny planet?
Earth.
Fallen, Vex, or Cabal?
Hive. Or no, it wasn't a choice.
Time.
Sorry.
I'll take it. I'll allow it.
Yeah,
I'll
I think Fallen, Vex, or Cabal was the question. Sorry, I might have
Fallen.
Yeah, I like Fallen too. I love captains. Captains are devious.
Vex or Cabal. Hive.
I know.
Hive in that question.
Well, that's the only three. I didn't want to list them all. Fallen, Vex, Cabal, Taken. I mean, what do you like?
I'll allow a hive. I'll allow it.
Oh, I think that's
Scourge.
fair. I think that's fair.
Taken.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody likes the Scorn.
No,
No,
they're not
annoying.
They're not. Yeah, they're not really. Oh well, I won't get into that. Well, hey,
No,
Hazel.
they're that punk band. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They only hang out in one spot, and when you know.
Well, hey, Hazel. I mean, how well do you do?
I have 18.
Yeah, I think you got 18. Yeah, good deal, man. That's a solid score. I'm telling
My
you,
goal was 4, so
you well exceeded your goal, brother. You're good.
More than 4 times.
Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Well, hey,
done math well.
Hey, listeners, I got a question for all you. I got a question for all you listeners out there. Do you have a great speedrun question idea? If that's a yes, then enter our Discord and put them in our speedrun question ideas channel, and we'll add them for next year's speedrun. That's in a couple weeks, by the way. Just remember, they need to be yes or no, 1 or 2 word answers. Either or questions will also be accepted. At the end of the year, we're actually having a drawing for a $25 gift card of your choice, and you can enter up to 5 questions into the drawing. So good luck with that. Well, good deal, man. That was fun. I think it is time to talk about this week at Bungie. All right. This week at Bungie. God, it feels good saying this. Hazel, what do we got?
Well, I'm going to take a page out of Gator's book and from last week, and I'm just going to start with this. I'm going to read it word for word.
What? I didn't do that last week. Just at the beginning.
Yes,
shit.
I know. It was painful.
Every word. Every
Yes. Yes. He even said like pause, comma, spacebar. Yes, it was fantastic.
I don't think so.
But anyway, so because that's my patented phrase, let's get into it. All right.
Oh, you heard my impression of you said shit.
Oh yeah, I've got words.
Oh,
you'll
shit.
hear them.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So Hawkmoon came out this week. Do either of you fine gentlemen have this?
I just finished it today, the entire quest. I was doing Iron Banner last night, and I got all the Guardian kills I needed to, and I ran there's one more mission afterwards. It's so good. It's so good.
It is.
That mission is fantastic.
Which time?
I got killed by it.
The very last mission, I won't give away too much, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
It is not easy.
Yeah.
No, but it was definitely a fun one.
Is it like that altered Savathun's eye quest for the Thorn? Like hard?
No. It is hard, but it's not like that.
Nothing like that.
Because I still go in like cold sweats thinking about that.
Let's just say at the last one, you'll be looking around going, okay, where do I go now? Let's just leave it at that.
That's every time I play Destiny.
Well, yeah, me too, but this one was especially tedious.
Yeah. And then you're going to end up like going like, okay, I need more ammo.
Yeah.
So Hawkmoon is out there. Fun fact for anybody who didn't know, RNG actually is a thing with this gun now. So you can get drops with this with different perks.
See, here's the thing. Where are those drops going to come from? Just world drops?
I guess they could be, but I read somewhere today that they're actually planning on doing something where they're going to have like an event or something where an activity where you can actually do this and you can get another version of the Hawk Moon and go from there.
I'm guessing probably a Master Nightfall or something.
Probably the Grandmaster that's coming out.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the only place where I would put it too, you know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. But I do like the perk, how they reworked it. So it's no longer just 2 random bullets that will kick ass. It's basically it all factors in on how many kills you get and how many like precision shots you get. So, yeah. And then that last shot is a doozy. All right. After that, the Dawning is coming again. So,
yeah, baby.
My favorite seasonal activity.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like making cookies. What can I say?
I like eating cookies, so we're a match made in heaven.
I like doing both, so yeah, I'm good.
Oh, God. I think we just made a love connection. All right. So, yeah. So, the Dawning comes out. I want to say the 15th, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry, next week.
It's just the next reset. Yeah.
Yeah, the next reset. So, on Tuesday, the Dawning will grace us with its presence. And presence. See what I did there.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah. My daughter is going to absolutely love everything in this. Grabbing snowballs and throwing it at people.
Dude, that's like the worst thing in the tower when you're like running between vendors and then all of a sudden you just get like frozen and you're going in slow-mo because some just blueberry just whipped one at you from across the tower.
And it's always when you're in a hurry too. You're like, oh, you're going to grab these bennies.
Yeah. It's like the only thing that my wife lets my daughter do in Destiny. It's pretty fun.
Cool. That is.
Yeah. Yep. Also, a fun fact for you: those snowballs actually go farther than the Warlock melee for stasis.
Oh, we're going to talk about that though.
Actually, I'm not.
What?
So, moving on.
Whoa!
No! Keep going.
Yeah, $1 million. That's the amount that they are up to at the moment for the Bungie games to give for the Lightkeepers.
Yes, so it's awesome.
Yes. They are doing a milestone every $50,000 donation. So that way, they're going to have different people read and who they are and that. So that's always awesome. And then to steal a page out of last week's so well done TWAB, there was a bunch of issues. And in the words of Gator, I'm not going to do what Hazel would do and say that they've just fixed a bunch of shit and go from there.
Oh, no.
But he actually ended up saying that they fixed a bunch of shit and to read the TWAB if you want to see what they fixed.
I was just touching on a few that were important.
Yeah. Well, so touching on a few of these that are important as well. Spoiler Conquest. Don't put that shit in your vault. Can't get it out. It's gone. So don't do it. Aside from that, FPS issues on PC, they need help with that.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do.
So if you see any issues with that, make sure to go to the TWAB and read the thread. Click on that, get them some information for that so they can fix that shit. So those are the main things there. And then that's pretty much it. The movies are, movies. So yeah, those are always fun.
Well, thanks, man.
At the end.
I'm glad you think I did a good TWAB last week. That's awesome.
Did I say that?
Didn't he say it, Joe? I could have sworn he just said I did a great TWAB.
Did I?
I heard that.
Joe's like, mommy hit daddy, and I'm like, I'm in the middle. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a TWAB last week. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
So aside from that, Destiny 2 developer update rewards from Joe Blackburn. So I didn't know that Joe Blackburn actually came back because I heard that he left. I remember that.
He's back.
Yeah, well, obviously. But he was actually the guy that did the raids.
Hmm?
So that was fantastic. I was really sad when he left, and just really glad to know that he's back. And now he's on the rewards team. So a couple of the highlights here with it are...
There's a lot of them.
There's a little bit of news here. So everybody knew that crossplay was coming in 2021. So that's great. Looking forward to that. Vault of Glass, that's going to be returning probably season maybe 14 is my guess.
They just said 2021, which is like, duh. I mean, you already announced that. I mean, the crossplay they officially announced now. Now it's official. Now they have to back it.
They said it was going to be coming out anyway.
But the Vault of Glass, they said that like when they were hyping this season, they said it was coming. That's not new news.
Not really, no, but it's still something that they mentioned. It was still fun to see. One thing that made my heart skip a beat was actually DDoS protection.
Mm-hmm.
Will be coming next season. So that's really exciting for me.
Even more reason to play PS5 when we can get a hold of one.
Yeah, or PC. Then 2 Strikes will be coming next season. So that'll be season 13. That's the Fallen Saber and Devil's Lair. And yeah.
And those are Destiny 1 strikes.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm
Did
just
you guys like the reiteration of Avgjoe?
It wasn't quite as I mean, I've run it several times. It's not quite as, what's the word I'm thinking? Dire? She's a little bit easier to kill than Avgjoe was. Avgjoe took forever to kill. This one seemed a little easier to kill, the sister or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Novoda,
yeah. But it's still a fun strike though.
I liked it.
And you have more you have more room in that final room too. You have more space.
Yeah, they definitely opened that up. When you said it wasn't as dire, it's like, you mean you weren't like you had 4 inches left, right, and back.
Does everybody remember hiding in the closet and one by one everyone would come out and get some shots and then run back in? That's how bad that strike was. Oh my god. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Guess what room I jumped into as soon as that new one started?
Did you really?
Oh yeah, went right up into the hidey hole.
Memories.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Memories.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that strike though to open up and have Avgjoe come back.
Oh,
that's what I'm waiting
for. She'll bitch slap Novoto and say, "I got this."
Show how you this
stand aside. I got this. I got this one.
Exactly.
Go take a smoke
break. Hear that, you kill her, and then you hear that scream, and then your balls like just shrivel.
Oh no!
And then oh my god!
Yeah. God almighty.
And then she just wipes you.
Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
Oh jeez.
That would be amazing.
I'm just kidding.
That happens.
I'm just kidding. Get back up.
No, I do. I want to see that happen. Where she comes out and wipes you, and then you just go to orbit, and then that's the end of the strike.
Oh, wow.
Then in season 13, they are adding 6 new legendary weapons to ritual activities. Includes basically 2 Strike, 2 to Gambit, and 2 to Crucible. That is
awesome.
So exciting. And then I mean,
and these are ritual weapons, right? These are like the weapons you do little quests to get, right?
Well, you have to do steps, maybe not quests.
Well, you know what I mean. So many kills in Crucible and with an auto rifle or whatever the weapon type is. Yeah, good. I like it.
Yeah, and then the main thing that's coming next season is going to be, drumroll please, adept weapons for PvE.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yes, sir. The palindrome.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
All of a sudden, Joe's like getting flashbacks to D1.
That was a good hand cannon.
Anxiety.
That was a good hand cannon.
Yeah, it was so good. I have PTSD from how many times I got killed.
Getting 2-tapped in Crucible. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and everybody would have the same god roll. I'd always have like firmly planted. Like,
I know, which isn't the same as firmly planted today. No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I remember always watching the Datto videos on reset day just so I could find out like what the role was when I was at work.
Yeah.
So
I miss vendor refreshes like that.
yep, exactly. And then the most important thing in the entire thing is that Transmog, they have an official date. Will be coming with season 14. So not next season, but the season after.
I'm okay with that.
So I mean, those are the highlights, like the very, very, very highlights of it. But in the whole article, though, they do talk about, or what Joe talks about, basically that they took out a lot of stuff and they underestimated, I guess, the amount of stuff that was going to be in the game, which is why they ended up adding it back in, like the, like the 7th Seraph weapons and things like that.
Right.
So, I mean, I applauded him for, being really honest and open and saying, hey, we screwed up, but hey, here's what we're doing to fix it is we're hiring more people. We're going to be, dedicating people to become basically like weapon masters and things like that.
That's what I love about
awesome.
Destiny, man. That's what I love about them. They're very open.
Yeah, exactly.
You forgot something though. There were other than the palindrome, there were 2 other weapons.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the Swarm and Shadow Price. Yeah.
Shadow Price, dude. Shadow Price.
Shadow Price.
That was a great.
Why am I drawing a blank on that?
It's a great auto rifle. Think of a medium firing auto rifle. And it was beautiful. That was the auto rifle to use in Crucible.
Now here's the thing though. Okay. Since these are D1 weapons.
Mm-hmm.
What if they brought back D1 perks?
Well, maybe somebody I might know intimately said on several podcasts, many podcasts ago, that they're going to bring back all the weapons from Destiny 1 in time because the assets are already there. Why not dip into those assets? Think of the nostalgia we have right now for Destiny 1. It's already there.
God,
all these weapons and armor. I want to bring back that Wrath of the Machine armor where the Siva charges would glow through my I want to call it a kilt.
You're just pandering to sin right there.
I'm telling you, I love that armor. It's my favorite of all time. The light hit it a certain way, you'd have stuff beaming out of your body. It's awesome. But my point is that I mentioned this many moons ago, that it would be a no-brainer for them to bring back everything from Destiny 1 in time. Yes, they can't do it all at once.
This is 3 guns. This is not everything.
Oh, I said over time. Over time.
They have a long way to go.
I'm telling you.
Back everything.
Destiny Online, it's coming.
Oh, God help us. All right. So, what do you guys think?
I think it's rad. I think it's really cool. I mean, I love how they're bringing more into the game as far as rewards and everything. Like the adept weapons were definitely something that was missed forever. I mean, a lot of people miss those. I miss those. I mean, I'm drawing a blank on the auto rifle from. You pretty much grind it until you got an adept one of those suckers. Bringing it into PvE, catering to that side of the game. No, it's not the summoner. That's for D2. I have that.
Oh.
Anything.
Oh, he's talking. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about that 900, that 900 round per minute.
That monster.
That crazy gun. That gun was nuts.
So good. I can't remember the name of it.
The raid the Vault of Glass raid even had a clone of it, but it wasn't exactly the same. But if you got certain roles, it would act almost identical. God, I can't help.
Yeah.
I'll find it. Keep going. I'll find it.
But it was the crossplay. I think that is fantastic because I still I play mainly on PC now, and I have since last fall. With I'm on the spot. What's the Moon expansion that came out?
Shadowkeep.
Yeah. I've been playing on PC since Shadowkeep. With the cross save, but I still venture back onto PS4 every blue moon, showing offline to play with just 2 people. So whenever I get an invite, like, hey, we're gonna shoot shit tonight. Damn right we are, and I'll jump over on PS4 and play with just them, and because they're not on PC. Most of the people that I play with now, migrated to PC as well.
Right.
So I love the idea of being able to play on PC and have your friends on Xbox, PS4, Stadia, or PS5 or whatever, all being able to play together now. Like, it feels more like a community, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I dig that, but yeah, no, they should definitely take the palindrome back away, though. That should go back away.
God,
I'm biased, but
I'm just foaming at the mouth. All the beautiful weapons in Destiny 1. Such great weapons. I can't find
there was
it.
a lot of really good weapons in D1.
Doctrine of Passing.
Doctrine
Yes.
of Passing.
I just found mine. My flawless one. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I bet I still have it in my vault or on my character in D1.
So-
I haven't been over there in a long time.
Be careful. It'll take you down a wormhole. You'll sit there and stare at guns all night.
Oh, it'll be a rabbit hole. I can't wait.
Yep.
Back when, you go to the arms day.
Mhm.
That was like,
Best
there were
day.
certain things in D1 that
Right.
kept you coming back, and Arms Day was one of those.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something. It didn't feel like it was like too difficult to pull off. Like, what would you do? You get these bounties and go do them, turn them back in a week from now.
Right.
You'd have a gun, and it was like, what am I gonna get? Okay, there's a god roll floating around to this son of a bitch. It's like, and you open it up, it's like, God, I got that goddamn freaking auto rifle again.
Mm-hmm.
It was somewhat disappointing, but somewhat like it was. You look forward to it. It was part of the weekly reset. You'd have Arms Day, you'd have Reset Day, and then it was trials and stuff on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd have Xur. And when Xur was actually like, I miss Strange Coin. Like, I miss Strange Coin. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it just, I love being able to go to the dead orbit, turn in my tokens there. And, there were just more things that made it feel like a hobby than a game, so it was D1 had a lot of stuff, but it's like you said earlier, it's slowly kind of, bringing more of that D1 back into play.
I hope it keeps
And,
going.
I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
I think it will. I mean, I think they know that they were missing something from Destiny, and Destiny has a track record. Bungie has a track record with Destiny that they will release it, get feedback, improve upon it.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
And by the time you get to like the next two expansions or whatnot, or the next expansion or halfway through, they're going to put patches in and they're going to fix it. So when, like, example, you had D1, Dark Below kicked off the raids, and Dark Below was, Crota's End was more like a short strike than it was a raid, but it kicked it off, and then you had Taken King. You know what I mean? So it took them a few expansions, but by the time you got to Taken King, it like blew up. There was a lot of Taken King, babies out there,
There is.
They all came in right at that time when it was good. And it's like, back in my day, this is what we had to do.
Looking at you, Kingsley Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And it's one of those things where it's just like Destiny has its lulls. It's got its dry spells like any other game. But they are working hard in the background to make it unique and improve upon what was there. They take the community's feedback 100%. They listen to everybody. Dylan and Cosmo and everybody, and even Deej before he left.
Right.
All listened attentively, and they have the community meetups and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They do a hell of a job. And they set a standard that a lot of studios don't live up to with their community interaction and feedback.
Yeah, and it's funny you should say that, because I'm what Bungie has made here is something very special, because I actually started dabbling into Cyberpunk 2077 last night, started playing the campaigns and stuff, and as overhyped as that game has been, and I have just scraping the surface. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving you a review of it, but it just makes you appreciate when you hop back on in Destiny how such ease everything you can use is so easy and so intuitive on your controller. Versus,
I mean, they set a standard for sure.
It's going to be really hard to beat that standard. But anyway,
Anthem,
the Destiny killer. Yeah,
Marvel.
It died.
Superheroes. Yeah.
Don't get 30 all pissed off at me. Come on, man. 30 and Still Gaming loves that game.
What? He can still play it. He's one of like 4 people doing it. It's okay.
I'm not even
going to the offline.
I'm not.
The multiplayer off.
I'm not even going to comment on that. Okay. What? So is that it, Hazel? That's all the TWAB this week?
Yeah, that's everything. Unless you guys have any other thoughts about anything about the dawning or, you guys can make some cookies together and feed them to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, man, just wait, man.
It's going to be fun. And I believe this is the last TWAB of the year, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So
yes.
we won't
They're taking time off.
Well deserved, I'm sure.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I think they usually come back towards the end of January. I think they get a couple weeks off.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably the second week of January they might come back with something, but not the first week. Definitely not.
I was thinking more towards like the last week of January.
You don't think so?
Like I think they take like 3-4 weeks off.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like 4 weeks off. Yeah.
Geez, what are we going to talk about?
That's another thing that Bungie really kind of sets a standard too is how they treat their employees.
Yeah, it's a testament.
Every studio has crunch, but when you hear what they do behind the scenes for their devs and employees and everything, they really do go above and beyond.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it shows in the product and it shows in their game and their community. Everything they've created, it shows through. It does. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks, Hazel. Appreciate that average TWAB this
Hazel.
week.
You're welcome.
All right. We'll be right back right after this. Hey gang, just a quick reminder. We now have a Destiny 2 clan, and Hazel and I invite you to be a part of it.
If you're looking to find a clan, now would be a great time to jump in and get to know some of these people that you've heard on the show. And we're not hardcore, so you don't have to worry about, us slave driving you to do raids and shit like that. Enjoying your time is basically all that we ask.
So, if you're looking for a clan out there, we have a permanent link in our Discord under our channel GDC Destiny 2 Clan, where you can find a link. Otherwise, look for Guardian Downcast or DOWN is our call sign.
We do ask that you join our Discord first, so that way we can communicate clan nights and things along those lines. And aside from that, you can lurk all you like.
Thanks very much, gang. I wanted to talk about this since we had an expert here, Hazel, among us. Last week, I talked about gaming over 30 and how, being an adult sucks, and there's a lot of stress in the world. And God forbid with the pandemic going on right now, how I really find a lot of solace and a lot of stress relief playing video games and how there's a stigma. And I think we'll be kind of the first generation that's going to deal with this is video gaming become a stigma because most of our parents and people older than us, or even like people I work with or clients I talk with, I tell them I play video games and they don't even know how to react to that. It's really strange. But like I mentioned last week, there was a time in my life where I played Call of Duty. Let's just say I played a little too much Call of Duty and it was having an effect on my actual real life. It became kind of an addiction. And, I didn't want to get back into that, but I just wanted to, since we had an expert among us here, I just wanted to ask you, Average Joe, if you had any opinion on this, you wanted to add anything to it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I'm no expert by any means. There are people that way beyond more,
among the three of us here,
experience and everything.
I'm going to say you're the expert.
I will say, video games definitely, it's a balancing act.
Right.
It's a fine line between addiction and then utilizing the positive of video games that can be almost used as therapy. A part of my personal self-care toolkit that I utilize is video games. I actually play, make sure that if I'm having a stressful day or anything, or to digress after a busy week, I play video games for 2 hours or whatever on a Saturday night.
Sure.
And that helps me digress. If I'm volunteering on that night on Crisis Text Line, and heaven forbid, I have to, do an active rescue with somebody that might be having a hard time, it sticks with me, and I look into my self-care, my own self-care and my toolkit, and one of those is video games. And diving into video games can be very beneficial. And it's one of those things, like you mentioned, people look at you kind of like sideways, like, video games. There's so much research on video games and, violence in games. Video games do not make people more violent.
Agreed.
In fact, video games have a lot of potential to use as a part of therapy. There's been a study that actually playing, like, old school gamers, like us, playing Tetris for a few hours after like a traumatic event might actually reduce like flashbacks from a traumatic event.
Really?
Even Grand Theft Auto, as like toxic as like it can be in Grand Theft Auto with doing all the things you can in that open world game, when an older player plays the game on a regular basis, they're able to maintain like more of a like cognitive function than non-gamers, which has the potential to make them safer drivers. So how you drive around recklessly in the game, you can be more cognitive of driving safer in real life.
Okay.
And some companies have actually, and studios have taken therapeutic gaming to a new level by designing games that are intended to help people develop coping strategies with, dealing with mental illnesses. And in some cases, research has even included input from people who have mental health diagnoses, to make sure that the game is as useful and representing that mental illness as intended to be. An example of that, actually, real quick, would be Senua's Sacrifice that Chris and you mentioned earlier in the show. It's a beautiful game, but it also touches on psychosis. But it also teaches coping skills for psychosis. And an example of that is schizophrenia, through the eyes of Senua, who is the main character, who in the game is attempting to save her boyfriend's soul, in Helheim. So there's a lot of positive coming from the gaming community now, where they're starting to. One thing I'll start by saying is none of them are good replacements for therapy, but they're not intended to be. They're intended to be entertainment, to enjoy them. But in between sessions, or if say you're on a waiting list to see a professional, they might help. And, a few games I actually wrote down for this topic to help manage depression or anxiety or other mental health problems are a game like Night in the Woods, for example.
Okay.
In the game, you play as a character named May, and the game helps players develop coping skills for depression and anxiety as they play through the game.
Really?
And the main character is actually a college dropout that returns back to their hometown and finds everything a little bit darker and a little bit scarier. But throughout the game, you actually develop coping skills, almost subliminally, through the game's story missions to deal with depression and anxiety. Really? Celeste is another game that helps players develop skills for depression and anxiety, as the main character battles her own inner demons as she's trying to climb a mountain in the game. So there's a lot of potential in games, and games are starting to develop new ways to represent mental illnesses and also develop coping skills with interacting with the characters and the experiences in the game. So studios are becoming, and developers are becoming more aware of the need for representation for mental illnesses and also coping skills in the game, because things that you learn in a video game can translate to real life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually can think of, you might not be able to off the top of your head, but you might have learned something in a video game that you do in real life that you don't realize you do, like that you learned from a video game. But utilizing video games for not extended periods of time. So playing video games for 7 hours straight is not going to be good for you.
That's not healthy. No.
But utilizing it 2 hours here, 3 hours, staying hydrated, but it allows a person after a stressful day utilizing video games to have that escape.
You know what's funny is
it allows that unplug. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny is I can be sick as a dog and just be miserable, body aches, the whole 9 yards, just a really nasty flu or bronchitis or something. I'll come in here in my office, I'll sit down and just jump on Destiny. And it's really weird, Joe. I just forget about all my symptoms. I just forget about them. And I get so enveloped in the game I'm playing that it's so relieving to not have to think about what's going on being sick. And this is a very outside example, but that's how therapeutic it is, even on a physiological level. How it just takes your mind away from the current situation.
Absolutely. And it's great when video games can be utilized in that positive way, where, me personally, I could have a super stressful day, something kind of, traumatic might happen. You never know, whatever the case may be, but you can turn that game on and play for a little while, and it allows you to get out of that immediate thought process, and not focus on that situation, and escape for just a little while and calm yourself. And it can be utilized positively for self-care.
I was just going to say that I
sometimes do that myself.
I use it. It's part of my self-care kit as well. When I get home after I have a customer that cusses me out or I lose a client, I mean, that's money for me. And I'm able to just, you can ask my wife. I tend to hang on to things too long, like my mother, and just letting it go, just by jumping on and not thinking about it and playing video games it's a godsend. It really is. So
yeah. Well, it's also one of those things too, where some people with learning disabilities, somebody that it could help them with, it can help people increase their performance, but also their attention tasks. Being able to work through tasks and puzzles in a game can help them in real life.
Absolutely.
So it can help on so many different beneficial levels, and just having that social aspect now as well, especially through C19 that we're going through. This entire year has been chaos. Utilizing these massive online multiplayer games like Destiny allows that social interaction that we're all missing.
Yep.
And could help people come out of their shell. I could, list several people that I know personally from the Destiny community that were very in their turtle shell, and Destiny helped them come out of their shells with playing with people in fire teams and growing relationships and socializing with people.
Oh, I mentioned communities last week. How that's one of the benefits is having these communities. I mean, look at the community that has just developed around our little podcast here. I say good morning to them every morning. I mean, it's so important to tag and touch base in the morning before everyone heads off to work. It's such a positive vibe.
Agree.
Everyone is such in a great mood in the morning. I mean, I'm not a morning person, But when I do eventually pop on and say hey to everybody, it's just really nice. It's like having a bunch of friends that you see every day. And I mean, we're raiding now a lot. We're doing a lot of things together, and it's just the quality of life is just much higher.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, so that's all I wanted to add to it. Is just
Okay.
the positive side to gaming, and you know, when you get over 30, it can be utilized in so many positive ways.
Yeah, it can. And I'm a little bit over 30, so.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm 37. I'm old.
Hazel, don't say a damn thing.
What am I missing?
No, I'm much older.
Old and feeble. No.
Yeah, I'm up there. Some people that
It's
listen.
all right. You're
some
not
people
as old as Nate. You know.
Some people listen intently, know exactly how old I am, but it's only the very diehard listeners who know my exact age. But
hey, my father is 64 years old, and he rocks out Halo and Left 4 Dead 2 and everything else. And he is an avid gamer, and
I love it.
It's part of his weekly session where he kind of escapes for a little bit and just plays a game. And it's a great tool.
Well,
yeah. Well, one thing I do want to chime in for is that when I was listening to last week's episode, you know, Gator, you were mentioning that whenever you like talk to your parents about it and they're like, oh God, he's still playing video games.
It's a source of stress for me. It really is.
But I kind of approached it from a different perspective. And because, I mean, like you said, you know, Easy, our former host, he said the same thing. Like he didn't have anybody to talk to and that. I mean, it's going to sound kind of messed up when I say this, but to me, it comes down to gender roles almost. Because if you think about it, I mean, pretty much before, I'd say maybe our generations, guys only worked, smoke,
come home and drink,
golfed.
Like stereotyping. Just you know, this is what you did. You were a man.
Yeah, exactly.
You hunted, you fished, you drank beer, and you sat in the garage.
Yeah, and you watched football.
Or you wrenched on a car, or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's maybe that's kind of like a sign of like growing up, maybe. Where it's like, okay, well, you're still playing video games, so you must be.
You must be a man. You must be a man child. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
They totally miss it. They totally miss it.
It's not anything about that. It's basically it's a hobby. It's you know, it's what we do for stress relief. It's what we do for any number of different reasons. You know, we just like playing fucking video games.
You could even use it like, you know, my mother. You know, she's a huge John Wayne fan. You like John Wayne, right? Oh, I love John Wayne. I watch John Wayne, you know, one John Wayne movie a day, or I'm always, you know, I have this and that. Okay. Well, I play video games. I play Destiny. This is my John Wayne.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you go and build stuff with wood and this and that for your hobby. This is my hobby. And the culture shift now in these generations, I'd say my father's generation, starting with, you know, the Ataris and everything and all that, it just shifted that culture and developed and just blew up. Like I said, there's like 6 billion gamers in the world now.
See, here's the thing. What the younger gamers don't realize, and I'm going to make us all sound old here. Sorry. We didn't have multiplayer games. We didn't have internet. We put the cassette in and it was us and that's it. We didn't have communities to touch base with. We didn't have online chat systems. And now that I'm older, I'm grabbing a hold of this. I'm like, this is awesome. And I told my wife, I said, I will have my own little gaming room when I'm retired and you'll go read your books or work in the garden and we have all, you know, it's like all written in stone now. We know what we're going to do. And I'll be in there gaming on my virtual reality, multi-directional treadmill, getting exercise.
PlayStation 7.
Yes, absolutely. I know it's coming. And I will be sitting there getting fully immersed, using my brain, which is going to keep me engaged. What's the one thing that you see with old people that makes them go really quick? They sit in a chair, they stare at a TV, and they slowly die. Not going to happen to me. Not going to happen.
I'll tell you one thing. I used to play with somebody, and he still plays to this day on PS4. He was a retired Marine, 82 years old, playing Destiny.
Well, look at Grandpa Gamer.
Right?
He's ex-Navy.
Yeah,
and he I think he was a sniper, and
he's a freaking crazy sniper in video games.
Dude, he is good. He is freaking good.
I've seen clips.
I'm impressed, man. It gives me
I was
such
looking for
pride.
the 12-year-old kid in the background actually controlling the controller, but it wasn't there. It was him.
I know. It's so great. And there's other older gamers now starting to get into streaming. I love seeing that. I really do.
Yeah.
And I gotta think that guy is sharp as a razor because he games. His mind is sharp. It's eye-hand coordination. You're lining up dots on a screen. That is working big parts of your brain.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Not to simplify it, but
That's a whole nother topic.
yeah, I'm sorry. We'll go down another wormhole.
We'll rabbit hole. This topic can be rabbit holes.
It can.
So
It can. So
I'll send text to. We'll get clinicians on here and start talking about this.
And then it will.
You want the video game doc? I'll get a hold of Tony and get him on here for you.
I've watched a lot of TED Talks about how gamifying everything is just making things so much easier in life to do. It's another topic. Sorry. All right, I won't go down that road.
No,
but
you're fine.
You know what though?
I enjoy it.
You know what though? Because we're on this topic right now, and thanks Hazel for Q&A. I was curious what you thought on that. So
yeah.
Before
go ahead.
Before we go on to our community questions, and we can joke and laugh then, I want to talk more serious here because not to get emotional here. Christmas is going to suck this year. I'm sorry it is. I have a huge family here in Florida, and God, it just came over me. Christmas Eve is a big deal for us, and I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I mean, we already missed Thanksgiving. We did, my parents are 75 and 73, and I don't want to get them sick. I don't want them to perish. I have a grandmother who's 94 who's in a home. I haven't seen her since last Christmas. And I'm very close to my family here. I have a huge family here, and we usually all get together. It's our one time of the year where we can connect and check in and see how everybody's doing. Not that we don't do it on texting and stuff throughout the year, but the face-to-face contact is so important. Getting that hug. I'm a hugger. Getting those hugs, and we're just a big Southern family, and we don't know if we're going to be able to do it this year. And it's really affected me, So I was just curious. I'm sure I'm not the only person thinking this right now. So is there?
No, I got family out of state that's not making it for Christmas this year, and that they're always there.
Yeah.
Like the last 30 plus years, they've always been there, and they're not going to make it this year.
Since this is kind of a unique year, I was just curious, how do we deal with this, man? I mean, what are we going through here?
That's a tough one, but there is something that does come around this time of year though, that does affect like a lot of people, and it's called SAD. SAD stands for seasonal affective disorder. Right. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before.
I have, yeah.
Okay. If you're not aware of it, it's depression with like seasonal patterns. It's a condition that comes and goes based on seasonal changes, typically appearing in the fall and going away in the spring and summer. Right. But it's not, completely uncommon for it to happen the opposite way around, come around and, develop in this, spring and summer and go away in the fall. But the diagnosis should only be considered if you're feeling beyond the winter blues. So as much as we're bummed out because COVID has affected so many things and everything, it's really sad that we can't get into the big family gatherings that we usually do at this time of year that we all look forward to, right. With engaging with family and being close and sharing these moments together. Right. SAD is the step beyond that, beyond the winter blues. And it's usually due to the lack of engagement, typically with hobbies or activities like Christmas time, right. Due to weather, or in this situation, COVID-19, with the pandemic going on. Mm-hmm. So this is bringing to a whole different level of this. And I would imagine seeing these cases raise, exponentially this year, throughout the winter, just because it's now cold and people can't go outside. They can't get into larger gatherings more than 10 people. Everybody's got to wear masks.
Right.
If you get the sniffles, you got to be quarantined for 2 weeks. I mean, it's going to hit people really hard this year. And there's a lot of debate of like what causes SAD. Some believe that it's influenced by like exposure to sunlight.
Okay.
Yeah. Our bodies react to how much sun we are actually exposed to through our circadian rhythm. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. Your night-day cycle?
Right. You're right. It's a natural internal process that regulates like our sleep-wake cycle and repeats with the rotation of the Earth. So every 24 hours. It can be referred to as like the biological process that entrainable like oscillation of 24 hours. You know what I mean? So it's that rhythm where the 24-hour day. Now, if we're being inside that entire time or more than we are, we're getting that natural clock, that regulating of like our mood and our sleep and our exposure to sunlight and everything starts to affect the chemicals in our brain and our bodies. Mainly talking about like serotonin and like melatonin. Our body naturally secretes these chemicals to, create serotonin and melatonin in our body to help regulate our sleep. When you start feeling tired, your body at 9:30 starts to, release melatonin and it starts making you sleepy. That's your body, that's your circadian rhythm coming into effect right there.
Yeah, I get you.
So this all affects how we influence how we feel. And there are some people out there that don't think there's enough evidence to support this theory, but it also, it connects and engages mostly with outdoor activities and gatherings, social interactions. I did pull a stat for this. This affects about 15 million adults every year in the United States, which accounts to 6.8% of the entire population in the country.
Do you think
every year that's how many people are affected?
Do you think this is mainly a northern problem, or you think this is nationwide?
I think this is nationwide because of the cycle with winter, with the days being shorter.
That's
I don't know
true.
about you, but it gets dark here at 4 o'clock at night now.
It sucks.
In the summer, the sun would be out. Yeah. And you'd be able to get that vitamin D, and it would be out till 9 o'clock at night almost.
Yeah, and let's get rid of daylight standard time. Can we just leave it at daylight savings, please? It's already it's like exaggerating even more of an exaggerate. You know what I'm saying? It just I don't know. Do we have to worry about farmers' crops anymore? I guess that's why they
coal mining.
Yeah, I mean
farmers do.
Well, maybe so.
Not the farmers I know. I'm telling you.
Thanks, Hazel. All the farmers are going to hate mail me now. Thanks.
Hey, you're welcome.
See, if you live in upstate New York, you're kind of accustomed to this sort of
yeah.
But just
I got you.
If you want to be like more aware, and you find yourself feeling like many symptoms of like if you're feeling, depression, especially irritability, and you may be more sensitive to interpersonal relationships and interpersonal relationships. If you don't know what they are, there are social connections between two or more people.
Right.
So our social groups. So if you're used to going out and having a picnic or going to see family at Christmas time and you're not able to do that,
it's affecting me. I'm just telling you, I start thinking about it and I get upset. Well, you'll also find, your energy levels are unusually low. Mm-hmm. You're feeling more tired. You're heavy, lethargic.
your sleep schedule's not regular, and some people actually oversleep because of it. You could be developing seasonal affective disorder because of the season change or the pandemic we're going through. Yeah. And you might find yourself eating more comfort food and starting to put on weight, and there's so much that goes into this, especially with feeling stressed and distracted, sad, guilty, hopeless. I mean, it's so much, but there are things people can do to help with this, and one of them, and I know our clinical director is a big supporter of this. It's CBT therapy.
Okay.
It's cognitive behavioral therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a listener and you don't know what that is, CBT therapy usually involves efforts to change our thinking patterns. There are strategies that might include learning to recognize your distortions in thinking that are creating problems, and then to reevaluate them in a lighter form of reality, gain a better understanding of behavior and motivations of people. So you're essentially trying to change your thought pattern. So you're an example of that for CBT would be I never have a lasting relationship. Like my relationships never last. Another form of that would be, none of my previous relationships have lasted very long. And that changes that little thinking, just rewording it a little bit, and then reconsidering that what I really need from a partner could help me find someone I'm more compatible with for a long term. Like these are some of the most popular techniques that you can use with CBT.
Okay.
CBT individuals focus on immediate thoughts, moods, feelings, and this allows problems to be broken down and made more manageable.
And now is this about catching your bad thoughts and switching them and catching them while you're acknowledging? It's kind of like an all hands on deck. Like you're realizing that you're going down that thought process and being able to grab it and switch your state almost. Is that what you're talking about? Kind of
right. That could be a way of saying it. And I don't want to be quoted. I know our clinical director. I know Dr. Goku's going to listen. He's going to go, "You're right, Joe, but this one part."
Yeah. And I'm sorry. That's a lot of Anthony Robbins. Rubbing off.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You can even say you could write down these thoughts in a journal or on a sheet of paper. Okay. And then you could think of ways to make those thoughts and those feelings manageable, like self-care plans and things that you could do to change your lifestyle in the wintertime, like opening your blinds, going outside, exercising, jumping on Destiny and doing a raid with people.
Yes.
Having that social interaction. Instead of, since you can't be all as a family, utilize things like telecommunication, like Zoom. Zoom, you can have 100 people on one call. Everybody turn on their cameras, and even though you're not in the same room together physically, you're all there sharing in conversation. And you could even go as far as trying to CBT, looking at the thought of my family's not going to be able to get together, and this has always been a big thing. We could mail our gifts to one another, and then on Christmas Eve we could all jump on a big Zoom, Skype or Zoom call.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And we can all open our gifts together and share in that moment.
That's a great idea.
So that's just another way of just kind of reevaluating, breaking it down, and making it manageable.
You just gave me a way of doing it. That's awesome. No, I mean I never would have thought of that. If I get my mom and dad to know how to use Zoom, I'll have to do some research there, but
that'll be an adventure in itself.
Yeah, I know.
But another thing you did bring up a question earlier this week was light boxes.
Yeah.
Right.
Light boxes are great. This is identified as light therapy. This can be utilized for, seasonal affective disorder too, because we're not exposing ourselves to as much sunlight, and sunlight affects us so much. Vitamin D is amazing for our bodies, and it's great for not just our physical, but it's also our mental. So light therapy is something that I would definitely recommend you talk to your healthcare provider or your mental health professional, your psychologist or your counselor. Talk to them, and they can recommend a good light box for you. And essentially what you'll do is a lot of people laugh at these. I've seen these in work, and they are fantastic.
I use them in my office. I have LEDs, track lighting above me right now, and I use more of a daylight bulb, and it's amazing how much it can change your state of mind. It
really is. And, you can do these on your own. Like I said, I recommend, talking to your clinician, right. And you pretty much use them for you can use them for 30 minutes a day. Right. And it'll help boost your mood throughout the day. And it'll help create that vitamin D and everything. And it's just really good for you. But my definitely talk to a doctor.
My son moved up to Minnesota from Florida. I mean, imagine he's in Sunshine State, and he goes to Minnesota in the winters. And he bought some of these lights, and it really made a difference. His vitamin D levels were tanked. And he couldn't concentrate. He was still going to college at the time, and he was having a hard time concentrating. And this light therapy, I'm telling you, it really did work. It really did work.
Yeah. And then this time of year too, also with, our eating habits shifting, going towards more comfort foods. Yeah. Try to avoid overindulging your cravings. If, don't go towards the high sugar, fatty foods. Still try and keep that kind of somewhat healthy diet in there. Have some vegetables, have a salad, try, if it's man, those goddamn cookies look so good. Well, my wife just made 4 batches of molasses, and one of them is going in my belly. I don't mean one cookie, I mean a batch, and I'm not, she makes killer molasses cookies right now. So I'm actually drooling over them. But moderation is something that that will actually help us in the long run, not just for my spare tire that I'm developing, but also just us in the winter time overall to improve our symptoms and reduce the severity of any future episodes that we might feel.
Just grabbing an apple makes a big difference. If I eat I used to eat out, drive-in, Wendy's or whatever. I used to have that when I worked. Now I carry nuts, and I carry a protein shake, and I carry an apple, and I actually pre-slice it with a slicer. It's amazing the clean energy in you, and even though it's sugar, your brain uses it so effectively. You don't get any dips, you don't get any tiredness. It's amazing what food can do, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't drink, 2 energy drinks. Just so you know, 1 Monster equals 10 cups of coffee.
That's crazy, man.
And that is also 95% of your sugar intake for the day in 1 Monster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So keep that in mind when you go to slam that sumbitch down, that you're just slamming 10 cups of coffee and pretty much a half a pound of sugar. Right there.
And there's energy drinks that use a lot of vitamin B12, vitamin B6.
Yeah.
Look into those, because that's clean energy. It takes a little longer to kick in. It usually has a tiny bit of caffeine, like a cup of coffee in there, but they work so much better than these. I mean, I had heart palpitations when I used to drink that stuff. I went to the doctor, and he goes, what the hell are you drinking? And blood pressure was through the roof. Everything was crazy. And those damn drinks, man, the guarana, it's the guarana. It's that root. Yeah. That root is brutal. I'm going to probably get.
And you talking about apples, man. I saw somebody today. I want to try a rose apple. Have you ever heard of those things?
No, never had those. No.
They have a green skin, like a Golden Delicious. But when you cut it open, it's pink on the inside instead of white. And it tastes like pink lemonade.
Oh, man. Wow. That sounds good.
God, I hate you, TikTok. No, there was some chef on there today. He's like, let's have a rose apple. And it's like, this ain't real.
Damn you.
It's real. And now I want to try it. And I forgot about it all day long until you just said apple. And now I want one again.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you helping us out here. And I just wanted to add to what I was talking about last week. And you explained it very well. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we go on?
Be mindful. Take a minute. Be mindful. Try and think things through a little bit, give yourself a little bit of time and be mindful of what you're eating, what you're doing, and how you feel. And if you're feeling a certain way, there's channels and people out there to help.
Well
Don't
said.
hesitate to ask anybody or reach out.
Well said, man. Well said.
Nice.
Well, okay.
Play Destiny.
Well, we can have some fun now. I mean, I know it's a serious subject, I know, but I think this time of year, I would like to say I'm a genius for scheduling Average Joe this time of year, right before the holidays, but it's just the way it worked. Yeah, I'd love to claim that, but it just worked out that way. But it's just perfect, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate the opportunity, man. I thank you guys so much for having me come on, and I apologize for my rambling and everything. But
I jump in right in there with you.
we talk about mental health topics all the time. Dr. Goku, that everybody knows him as, is fantastic with this, and I learn a lot from him, and I learn a lot from a lot of the trainings that I do and everything, and just the experiences that I had. You don't need to be a mental health professional to understand how you feel and know that there's help out there. So
good point. Okay. Well, good deal.
Nice.
Well, let's have some fun now, Hazel. Let's we got some pretty good community questions out there, and let's do that right now. We'll do that right after this.
Hey Guardians, would you like to send us a question for the show? Well, there's 4 ways to do it.
Number 1, join our Discord server. There's a join link in our show notes. We have some great gamers in there, by the way, and you can just lurk or hang out or jump right in and talk with us. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show.
You can also email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also tweet out almost every week about our upcoming show, guest, and you can respond there with your questions at Guardian_D_cast is our Twitter handle.
Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your questions at speakpipe.com/GuardianDowncast. Remember, that's all one word. And we'll play it on the show for you guys.
SpeakPipe is honestly my favorite thing. But anyway, thank you for all you guys do, and toddles.
And later, Guardian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment in our show where we get our questions from our community and try to answer the questions from them to the best of our ability. And we had one from Mr. Arisen Phoenix from Twitter, and he goes, Mr. Average Joe, what is the best and worst choices you've ever made? Risen Phoenix.
That's a deep question.
That is.
I have 4 concussions and many broken bones and lots of visits to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's a tough one to answer. Probably the best would be, God, I mean, if my wife listens to this and I say, getting married and having, having our 2 daughters, like, she would be like, why didn't you say that? That's obviously,
that's a given.
That's a given right there. Doing what I do with mental health and trying to make a positive difference. And worst, ever starting to drink Monster.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Stay away from the energy drinks.
Oh gosh, yeah. All right, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate you answering that.
Sorry, I couldn't answer. I'm sorry, Phoenix, man.
That's a tough question. I get it, man.
It's right up there with what's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah, I know. Well, I appreciate it.
The meaning of life is you start here. No.
I appreciate him asking it, though. That was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, right on. Thank you, man.
Well, Hazel, let's start grabbing some. You go first.
All right. So, let's see here. I'm gonna go with this one.
Okay.
So, wow, there's like 3 in a row that are all about something else.
Yeah, we can get into it. We can answer all those at once, maybe later.
Yeah. Okay. So, what? This is from Uncle Scumdeath.
Okay.
What is the best non-playable character in a video game?
We always,
Me?
yeah, we always go to you first, Joe, before we answer.
Oh, non-playable character in a video game. Non-playable character in a video game.
Yep. NPC.
I would. You know what? At one point in time, I would say the Big Daddies from BioShock, but in BioShock 2, you become a Big Daddy.
That's right.
I don't know.
I know. I'm thinking too. I mean, without talking Destiny, you know.
Shax.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The helmet stays on,
Yeah. It does.
and you're just that voice, man. Shax would be a savage if you could play as him. So,
What do you think, Hazel?
Mine was easy, actually. For me, it's the companion cube from Portal.
I didn't play.
Ooh.
See, I didn't play Portal.
what about what was her name?
Cortana?
I want Cortana from Halo.
Oh, yeah.
That would be kind of neat.
I was gonna say Ikora Ray because she just seems like a badass. But I'm gonna say Price from
That's
the Call
what I
of
was
Duty.
just thinking.
Call of Duty
Yeah.
games. I mean,
Nice.
that's a good pull there. I've always liked him. So yeah.
And I give you a +1 as well for making it not a Destiny person.
Thank you. I had to really think hard there.
Thanks.
I had to really go into the data bank on that one, Hazel. Sorry.
Still thinking about it, to be honest.
Well, no, it's nothing against you, Joe. It's just that this is the only thing that Gator does. So for him to even remotely venture outside of Destiny was sort of shocking.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody just wrecked. But yeah.
Yeah.
I did start with BioShock to give myself.
That is
props
true.
right there.
Exactly. You did.
But then I debunked myself immediately
Sure.
with BioShock 2. So
Yeah. I've got one here from, quote, the staff. He wants to be anonymous. Without cursing, this is for Average Joe. Without cursing, tell us how much you love Animal Crossing. And how many bells do you wait a minute, how many bells do you still owe to Tom Nook? Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
I got a thing about Animal Crossing. All right. So this started back at PAX when they had the big booth. And every single episode, if you listen to the Guardiansmh Mental Health podcast that we do, which is a blend of gaming and mental health topics, Animal Crossing gets dropped in every single episode, and it always catches me off guard, and it's always just kind of like thrown out there, and it's like I catch myself with like an F-bomb every time. It's like, God damn. I'm like haunted by this freaking title, and it's not the game. There's not, I have nothing against the game. It's just it's the title I'm haunted by. I owe a lot of bells to Tom Nook. Yeah, so
Okay.
I love it immensely without cursing.
I figured you probably know who the staff is that we're referring to, so
I do. Actually, It could be. They all love Razmi, but there's one in particular that
yeah, I think we know who it
he
is.
just loves
Oops,
it.
did I say who? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for your question. I
Yes.
appreciate you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your question. All right, go ahead, Hazel.
All right. So, question from Z Zenitram. And this is a question for the show. After the recent Warlock nerf, I've started to wonder if Warlocks feel like they're getting the short end of the stick all the time, and Titans feel like they're getting the short end of the stick, and Hunters feel like they're getting shorted. Rightfully so, Hunter Main. Then maybe everyone is getting the shaft, or all balanced. Crazy, I know, but possible?
Oh, they're
Impossible.
So they're saying
Impossible.
Been getting the shaft since D1.
So he's saying by bringing everybody down to a minimal level that we're all just be in misery. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't say this, Hazel, but I wanted to say it. It was mentioned that in next week's patch, Warlocks are going to get 37% more range to their Penumbral Blast. Yeah. How you forgot that, I don't know.
Right, so this season they started with being the most OP class in the game, to the point where they destroyed PvP and were melting raid bosses with just their abilities.
Yep.
Not even a super.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Not broken, according to
They can fly in the air for almost like forever. They have an in-air mobility, which is our Twilight Garrison that you selfish bastards took from us.
Yes.
And
it'll be back.
I hope so.
If
it is, you better all be scared.
I've been run over by a few Titans with that damn gear.
Dude, I loved it so much. But what it was when you were on a push, if you were solid with it, the mobility boost you got with that thing, you could project, yourself very quickly with it. But if you pushed too hard and you got in on somebody that you knew was going to beat you, you could do a quick little just blast to the side and you would get the upper hand on them if everything was lined up. So it was like savagely sneaky good. But just the fact that Warlocks can literally, I've played PvP matches where a Warlock floated in the air damn near the entire match, shooting down on everybody. And the fact that you can eat those grenades, dude, Warlocks have been broken in the majority of D2. I'm not gonna lie.
I disagree.
They got the shaft the first year, and then it was when that solar retool came, it was yep, no. This isn't right. I've seen Warlocks move faster than one of the goddamn drop ships in the goddamn game coming through.
Everyone always
just unreal.
Everyone always blamed Deej because Deej is a Warlock main. They always thought because he was the community director that he would be pushing for these. Well, no, he's not here now. So what's your excuse? What did I say? I said as soon as they nerfed it, they would bring it back, and they're doing that exactly. No, I mean, yes,
everybody said that.
They always take it back to where it's useless, no one wants to play it, to the point that now it's at least usable, and at least PvE. I mean, come on. I was throwing snowballs forever. It was crazy. It would only go 15 yards and then turn into a powder puff. It was crazy, man.
I think they, not to take it away from Warlocks, but I really do think that the Titan's hammer needs to be retooled a little bit because it's so underwhelmingly, it just doesn't do damage.
It's
even
definitely
PvE.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
It's very underwhelming, and the only bonus you get to it is maybe low ad clears. It won't clear yellow bars. It'll take 2-3 hammers for you to clear a yellow bar.
Right.
With that super. But the melting point that you would get on it. And if you have Pelglingueves on, you would, how that would stack with damage helps the team. But
right.
Outside of that shoulder charge with the melting point, the hammers won't do much besides just small ad clear. I think that needs.
I'm what I call a closet Titan. I'm a Warlock main, but I love playing Titan. The mobility is crazy. Except when you're trying to jump and all of a sudden it just goes boop. Nope, no more for you.
My mind.
What?
How I can be a Titan and I'm supposed to be this just reckoning up close,
right?
And I will get melee beat by a hunter, with one shot. It's I gotta punch you 2-3 times to kill you.
Yep, we were just talking about this.
Once?
We were just talking about this last night. That the Warlock melee is so slow, and we hit people twice, and they still don't die in Crucible. It's crazy.
Yeah, but hunters.
Oh, they're crazy.
Not even getting unicorn by them.
It's twice as fast. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, wait.
You got to give them something. All they can do is jump around 3 times. So, you got to give them. You got to throw them a bone.
Tell you, those springy bastards all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I don't know how many times I've been playing with other staff members on the weekend, and we're in Crucible or just anywhere, and it's like, stay freaking put,
Yeah.
You're shooting all over.
Still, I
like,
can't hit
if
you.
You could see me right now. I'm like pointing all over my office, like, because they're just like springing, all over the place.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Did I mention I ramble a lot?
No, it's okay. Was that you asked that one, so it's my turn. I got one from Z Kyle S13. He's one of our newest members in our community.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'm saying that right. It's Z. It's like he's inverted threes. Z33 Kyle, yeah. A question for the show. What is your favorite exotic weapon and armor? Mine's Trinity Ghoul and Assassin's Cal. I'm a hunter since I play solo most of the time. What's your favorite exotic weapon and armor? Joe, we always go to you first, sir.
Okay. Well, I've been for the exotic. I don't know what the name of it is right off the top of my head. I've been enjoying a lot the arms that will allow me to shoot through my barricade.
Oh yeah. I can tell you what those are. Seitan's Ramparts.
Chitin's Rampart.
Yeah.
That thing is sneaky good. It doesn't take a lot of damage, but it'll allow you and your team to peek around corners and take a couple pop shots at somebody in PvP where they see a shield barrier pop up and they'll like, oh, there's a barrier. I'm not going to shoot at it. And all of a sudden, you plink right through that sucker. But in PvE, it's really good, too, where you're trying to clear a hallway and you can pop it out.
Yeah.
But my favorite exotic has to be, I play Void Titan, Top Tree, Bubble Titan, and I rock out the Helm of Saint 14 quite often. Yeah. And if I'm running I think it all depends on what class I'm like, what subclass I am.
Sure.
If I'm running hammers like Solar Titan, I'm wearing Peregrine Greaves. And every time I say Peregrine Greaves, I say it like that. And Peregrine Greaves, like even when I shoulder charge in game, I'll say it.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. Awesome. We'll play one of these nights.
Hell yeah.
You'll just
it's
gonna be entertaining.
I'll be laughing the whole time, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be something.
What about exotic weapon? What's your go-to exotic weapon?
Exotic weapon.
There's so many, I know. So many good weapons.
There is a lot of them right now. I actually, not to go directly to like a power weapon and lament right now, because that's just savage. Honestly, I think my favorite one is the Le Marquis.
Oh, yeah,
Montague.
You like the bow? The Le Monarch?
I like, the Lamarck.
Damage over time, baby.
I like that bow, man. That thing is really good.
You and Green Eyed Music Lover. You both love those. Gee whiz.
Yeah. Greenie, she said something like earlier this year or like last year. She's like, I love this bow, and I got it.
Yeah.
It like dropped first time for me in the forge. But I never got the toaster, so don't hate me. But I got that, and dude, I'll tell you what, man, that thing is sneaky, like good.
Yeah.
Not just PvP, but in PvE, dude, for mobs and everything.
It does work good.
Ooh.
And it's very sticky for headshots too. Yeah, it's good. It's a good bow. Pretty smooth too.
Likey.
Hazel,
what about you guys?
What about you, Hazel? Armor and weapon.
Well, so this was hard for me because I'm running Hunter now, and
Jeez. You hear this, Joe? Ex-Titan.
Yeah,
he's an ex-Titan.
One of the breaks, he said something.
Oh, okay.
Like
I wasn't here to hear it.
My eyes rolled into the back of my head. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, so I mean, but here's the thing though, is that I'm not really using any exotic armor for it. So because the only thing I'm using is Celestial Nighthawk if I'm doing a raid.
Sure.
That's good.
It's a good one.
But I mean, really, that's the only thing that I'm using on the Hunter. But immediately when I read the question, my mind went to Titan mode. And I'm like, Armamentarium and Xenophage.
Oh, yeah. Armamentarium's good. Yeah.
See, now, if you're running Arc, then it kind of voids itself out, though. So if you were running Arc, what exotic would you have on for a Titan?
Oh, I know what mine would be.
Well, I use the helmets. Oh,
Insurmountable skull fork. That's what I'd use.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know what you're gonna say, Joe. I know what you're gonna say. Let me guess.
Dune Marchers.
Yeah. No, stand-asides. No. Peregrine Greaves.
Oh, duh.
Peregrine Greaves. No, that's only for solar. For
Okay.
arc, I actually agree with the insurmountable skull fork. The infinite shoulder charges.
Yep.
Me and a buddy of mine, we look forward to Crimson Days for Crimson Doubles.
Right.
And we're both Titan mains, and we will put those helmets on and be
all day.
truly as AF.
And Gambit, it is
we've
so
gone
nice.
20 some matches, just straight wins
That's awesome.
just shoulder charging and nothing but shoulder charging. It's like,
You're that
left,
guy.
I'll go right. We've gone whole matches without even shooting a bullet, and like just running around shoulder charging everybody.
You know what's funny is I'll see him coming. I'll see him all smoking and steaming coming at me, and I'll go, nah, he's gonna get me. All of a sudden he goes like a 90-degree angle, slam. Like, damn it. Anyway, all right.
Just wait for the day that they nerf it. It'll take 2 shoulder
Oh
charges.
God, then you're dead. Forget it. You might as well. It's trash then.
Just broke the entire class.
Well, okay. I play a Blink, Voidwalker, Warlock. What do you think my favorite exotic is gonna armor will be?
Astrocyte first.
Astrocyte verse. And what do you think my exotic weapon's gonna be, Hazel?
So probably some other Warlock-y bullshit.
No weapon.
Mm,
Okay. I'll give you a hint. It's a speedrun question.
mm,
Telesto is the besto.
uh,
I have 50,000 kills on that weapon. I use that a lot. Yeah,
You're a savage.
you're that person. I'm this person.
Do you bait doorways and everything? Like you shoot
the
door?
shotgunners don't get near me in Crucible. Now watch them just eat my ass. But no, I mean if I have Telesto on, no one's getting near me. No one's getting near
Do
me.
you ever like just have that crazy like Titan teammate where you just shoot them in the back with Telesto and let them run in there?
Not purposely. I'll do it in raids sometimes. In raids, I'll stick people with it and they'll run in there and inadvertently kill people. But
I couldn't tell you how many times. That's like the only way. Like I think back to like Halo. Like you just hit your teammate with the sticky grenade and just let them go.
No, you know what that is? That's a Battlefield equivalent of throwing C4 on the Jeep and jumping out and rolling it into a building full of people. And if you play Battlefield, but that's what you do. You jump off and go click. Blow the building up.
Our staff has forced me to play Battlefield before.
What?
And yeah, that is like the most chaotic stuff in the world. Roderick Weiss made me play Siege.
Okay.
I damn near lost my mind.
It's crazy. It can get crazy in there.
Like just for the fact that I'd walk into a place and all of a sudden I die by one shot, and it was some dude hiding in a bush in the, in the first floor lobby of this, or I'm watching the bushes, or watching the corners, and all of a sudden I die because some dude's up in a ceiling tile. It's like, how do you get up in the ceiling tile? Oh, you can shoot through the floor and then get down in there. It's like, who made this game?
Damaged environment. Yeah.
So I was like the corner guy. Every barricade, I'd put stuff on the wall. I would be that guy in the corner, like, you will have to come in here and make me leave this spot. They would, but
I hear you. All right, Hazel.
Sorry.
Let's pick another one.
That was therapy, just so you know.
No, I realize that.
Okay.
We do that here too.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I like this one. Plucky Hero.
Yeah.
Podcast question. What was an early D2 exotic that you loved that got nerfed or died out that you wish would get brought back? Also, what is to date your favorite D2 exotic, which is sort of like a similar question.
We just kind of answered that one. Yep.
Yeah, that second part. But what's one that we just don't use?
Got nerfed and we wish it was brought back.
Actually, for me, it's an armor piece. It was the bear paws for the Titan.
Oh, yeah.
Can't think of it off the top of my head, but what the heck were those called?
Ursa
Furiosas.
Yeah.
Furiosas. Those were awesome, especially in PvE, where you would be running that middle tree and you would take damage on your giant shield, and you would almost instantly get your super back so you could pop the shield again. It was so good in PvE.
Right.
I was very bummed out that they nerfed it into the ground so bad. It's just useless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's me.
Good answer. Hazel, you got one?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a great one. But that was just like an overall change to the entire game that they did there, though, when they reduced the amount of like super energy to everything. But I would look at it in terms of like, is there something maybe that I just don't use? And I'd say Cerberus +1.
Yeah.
Because
That never gets used.
that thing was like hot garbage.
It sounded cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It's like, let's put 5 guns together and then let's have
It was
them
4,
shoot.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, 4 guns. Yeah, sorry, Cerberus. Yeah, and then let's have it fire in like 30 different directions. So
Yeah.
Yeah. If they retooled that gun, that thing would be savage.
It's armor for me, and it would be the like what you mentioned, Hazel. It'd be Phoenix Protocol. I used to get supers back so quickly in raids with that chest piece, but now you get like a quarter of it. It's almost a joke. People tell you to put it on. I'm like, it really isn't going to do a whole lot for us. I'd rather have an arm piece that heals me when I punch people. Like the.
What about the instant reload from the reserves?
Yeah,
for the Luna
yeah. I was
faction?
gonna say Luna, but that was a close second. The Phoenix Protocol vest is just about useless, and I'd hardly use it anymore unless people just say to put it on just in case. I'm like, it's not going to help us a lot, guys. But yeah, the fact that we don't get instant reload on Luna faction boots, what good are those now? I mean, you get a fast reload. Hell, you can get a pulse rifle loader on one of your other pieces of regular armor and reload just as fast. And people are going to fact check me on that. I don't care. It still feels slow. Anyway, let's grab a couple more here, Hazel.
I was thinking of the Stronghold gauntlets.
There's a
The
bunch
exotic that you got and just set aside into the vault. Like, there's a bunch of them that are like, this looks cool, but it does almost nothing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Gator, I think it's your turn.
Yeah, we had several questions here, and I got to explain what's going on here. Okay, I'm just going to mention them because they all relate to the same problem we had. This is for Gator. This is from All Thumbs. Do you like Spam? Fried, baked, deep, fried, or uncooked? I do not like Spam. I've had it on my salad before, but I don't think you're referring to that kind of Spam. RNG Gator says, question for the show. Why does Gator tell us he's going to spam us with alerts about videos and then tells us it had to be done? Did it really? And original Kingsley Mac says, does Gator know how to use a MEE6 bot?
The Me6 bot.
The Me6 bot, yeah. Okay, full disclosure. I just transferred all of our audio podcasts to our YouTube channel. So I'm sorry, all 73 episodes got transferred all at once, or, in a line, like a queue. And every time it would post a new video to our YouTube channel, it would send 2 notifications to our Discord, one for check this out and another one for the live notification. I don't know why I set it up that way, but anyway, so everyone was getting double. So there were people getting 140 plus notifications. So I even lost a YouTube subscriber over this. I'm distraught. I'm really distraught because those are hard to get. So someone give me some charity and give me another follow, please, or another sub. But yeah, that's what happened. I do apologize. And yes, Kingsley Mac, I know how to use the Me6 bot, but I like Hazel said earlier, I tend to just do things and get them done, and then think about, oh crap, I should have done this first. I should have disabled the bot first, and then let the videos flow in, or the audio files flow into our YouTube channel. But No, I let the good old bot take care of it all for me. So again, I apologize. Surely didn't mean it that bad. And once it already happened, it's like I set a fire and there's nothing I can do. It's just spreading, and I just had to let it run its course. And within 40 minutes, I think it was finally over. So sorry, guys. I deserve that drubbing. So. Hey,
just gave you another sub back.
Thank you, sir. That was nice of you, man. Thank you.
Aw.
See, I can get pity subs. I can do it.
I just unsubbed.
No. Damn it, Hazel. Hey, Joe, let's call some friends. Okay.
Yeah. I'll get him on the horn right now.
He's like, we'll
Pulling
whore
up another
myself out.
account.
I will.
He's like, we'll whore myself out for subs.
Hey, gang, thanks for throwing those questions in. We do appreciate them. If we didn't get to yours this week, we don't forget our questions. We'll get to them on the following or future shows.
Guardian Downcast. Guardian Downcast. Yeah. Guardian Downcast. This is an intro. Guardian Downcast. Guardian. Not copyright. Guardian Downcast.
All right, so this is the final part of our show. This is where we add our songs to our Spotify. I'm sorry, our award-winning Spotify and iTunes playlist. If you want to follow our little playlist, look for Guardian Downcast Show Playlist. We now have 499 songs, 35 hours and 45 minutes of beautiful music representing us and all of our past guests since we started this thing. So, and I also post sometimes some music videos of our picks in our Discord under our TV and music channel. So let's start with Mr. Average Joe. What did you pick tonight, sir? And maybe why you picked them?
I know. Well, I picked one, and it was like, oh, great pick. We already got it.
Yeah, I saw Hazel do that. Yep.
Yeah. Well, side note, I gave you like 4 more subscribes just to make up for his one subscribe.
Fantastic.
So I tried to hook you up. I'll call in the troops too.
Call in the cavalry. Hell yeah. Thank you, sir.
We'll get you hooked up. I got to see that round number, the 120 hit. Music. I actually picked 2 different ones. One of them is a longtime favorite of mine, and it's just one of those just ballads that just is amazing to me, and it's from My Chemical Romance, Welcome to the Black Parade.
I love that song.
Yes.
This movie, the music video is fantastic, but this song is awesome. It rocks. It's got a great, it's more like a ballad than anything, like a rock ballad. I love it. But also, I'm a big fan of, I'm not gonna lie. I like Dave Matthews. I like jam bands.
Hey, dude, I love Dave Matthews. It's a great band.
So this song is actually the next one is Little Lion Man.
Nice.
Which is from Mumford & Son.
Yep.
And I would tell you who does it, but unfortunately my screen just went black for some reason.
Uh-oh. It just says various. It just says various. It says various artists. I might have pulled the wrong song.
It does. No, you did not. That is actually. It's from Tonight Alive.
Okay.
And it comes on just as soon as I pull it up on the other screen. I hate this one.
I know.
Monitor, I swear, it loathes me. No, it's a great. It's a great cover for Little Lion Man from Mumford & Son.
Yeah, okay.
If you like that song, but you also like punk or like rock, it's got a female vocalist, and she starts off kind of slow, and then it just goes into this rocking tune for Little Lion Man, and you will like it. It's a lot of fun. It's a good song.
Outstanding, man. Good deal.
Yeah.
We kind of share the same music taste. I like it. It's cool.
Nice.
You like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I could sit here. I'm looking at my
playlist is all over the place. I mean, I've got everything in there. Hazel, what do you got, man? What'd you add this week?
All right. My first song is New Invention by I Don't Know How They Found Me. So this is a song that it's I like heard this song just randomly because I just let a Spotify playlist play, and then this song came on, and I just immediately like went in and started playing everything by this band, and it's like heavily influenced by the 80s, and like it's got synth in there and things like that.
Yeah.
And then it's like pretty modern in its lyrics and angstiness and things like that. So it's a neat little mix of that. So check that out for sure. And then another song is Teardrops by Bring Me the Horizon. Now this is I give me like Linkin Park vibes, like from their first album.
Okay.
Not anything after that, but their first one where it's like sort of like edgy and in your face, and it's just I
haven't heard either of those songs. I can't wait to listen to those. Thanks, man. You always put some good picks in there, man. My wife has even complimented that. It just sickens me. No, just kidding.
Well, you can't steal her picks anymore.
No, I can't. I can't steal her picks anymore. Well, I went kind of old on both of my songs this week. Oh, I say old in quotes. It isn't like ancient old, but my first.
Somebody from Bare Naked Ladies, isn't it?
No, you're close. No, my first pick. This was my second song I picked from this American rock group from Calabasas, California. They formed in '91. So they've been around a while, and you can play every song on any of their albums, and I just know it right away. It's that good a group. I had to pick from this group because our music ambassador, Mr. Agent H, kind of reminded me of how good a group they are. So this pick was in honor of him. I hope I did him proud. My song tonight is from the group's fourth studio album, Morning View, and it's the song Warning from the iconic band Incubus.
Ooh, I saw them play live. They were good, man.
I love their music. Yeah. I love their music.
I saw them live as well. I was a security guard, and I was right there and backstage with them. It was awesome.
I am so hating you guys right now. For my second pick, this is a band that is almost all but forgotten today, but they had really great music, and I had to pick a song from them this week. It just popped up in my playlist randomly, and I said, oh, yeah. This band formed in '89 in Harrisburg, PA. Has a high energy metal feel, I guess you could say. My song is my pick is from their second studio album from 2000, Something Like Human, and the song is Hemorrhage in My Hands by the rock group that still tours today, Fuel. Fun fact, this song charted at #1 for 13 weeks in a row back then. Still a very relevant song today, I think. So,
they're not far from me. Harrisburg's not far.
I love this group. I really wish they kept going, but
That's a great song.
They stopped making albums back in 2014, I think. So, but they still tour, I'm sure, to, pay the bills, but they haven't really had any new albums, any music out for a while. So, as requested, Mrs. Gator has chosen a song for this week's show. This is what she says. Back in the old days, before making playlists on Spotify, us old-timers had to burn songs onto CDs. I decided I was going to be a cool teacher and make a CD with super cool songs on it to play for my class. This is the first in my 4-week series, Rad Songs for Cool Kids. Such a teacher. Enjoy, and the song she chose is Busy, Busy, Busy by Mr. Kevin Kline. It's kind of show-tuney to me, but it's actually a pretty damn good song. So it'll create a little diversity in our music picks. Mr. Zanfan 711 had a pick also this week. He says, in honor of the Game Awards, which was on tonight, and The Last of Us Part 2 being nominated for a ton of awards, here's the song. And winning, yes, good point. And here's the song that is the theme through the entire game. I can't hear this song without tearing up due to how it's incorporated into such beloved characters and story. He's talking about The Last of Us Part 2. The name of the song is Future Days by Pearl Jam, and I believe the lead singer for Pearl Jam actually sung on the Music Awards tonight. So check that out. I'm sure it'll be nice. You can play it back on YouTube, I'm sure. Guys, I think it's a wrap. It's another episode in our collection. For our new listeners out there, keep in mind we have 73 other episodes with interviews from gamers all over our community. So take a look at those if you're just finding out about us. I know there's some members in our community that are starting to go through them now, and we're getting questions that we don't even remember anymore, Hazel. Like, did I say that really? But if you do like what you're listening to, please just do us a big favor. Spread the word out there. Hit that share button on whatever podcast app of choice you use to catch us. And definitely leave us a good review on iTunes. Why not? We appreciate that stuff. And especially, it really makes our day when we get a positive review on iTunes. It's pretty cool. So we just appreciate everything you guys and gals out there do for us. And we hope we made your week just a little less stressful with kind of our lighter take on things, especially Destiny. So I want to start by saying thank you. Damn, thank you, man, Mr. Average Joe.
Yes, thank you.
This was a great show. I was looking forward to it all week. And wow, what great information you gave tonight. We got to dip into and kind of get a really good insight on your life and what you're up to these days. So thank you, man, for coming on again.
Appreciate it, man. I thank you so much for having me come on. I don't guest on very many podcasts these days, so it was really exciting, coming on. And I mean, at the beginning, I'm like, do you want the doc? I can have him, but having me on, dude. Like I said, I ramble a lot, but I really appreciate it, and I love the community you guys built. I love you guys.
Thank you, man. Well, the honor's all ours,
fantastic.
Man. The fact that you're not on many podcasts, we were honored that you decided to be on ours tonight. So
definitely.
Thank you, man.
Right on. Anytime.
Well, if you don't mind, do you mind listing where everyone can find you, your show, your podcast, all that good stuff?
Sure. You can find me, Mr. Average Joe, on Twitter at Average Joe 227. You can hit me up on Discord as well. Our nonprofit's Twitter is Guardiansmh. You can also check us out at guardiansmh.org, where you can find more information about our nonprofit, our programs, resources. You can request a mental health kit right there, and also more information on our content and articles and blogs and everything else about us on our website right there. And you can check out our podcast, Guardiansmh podcast on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, this one, that one, wherever you get your podcast from, you can check us out there. And we do a bi-weekly podcast talking about mental health topics and gaming news or gaming. And we do it to try and do our part to destigmatize and normalize talking about mental health and topics, and incorporate and fusing together gaming into it, because we're all very passionate about gaming, and our main focus is promoting mental health awareness and meaningful resources in the gaming community. So hit us up there and be cool.
Absolutely, man. You do good work.
That's
man.
Awesome.
It's really cool. I've been on one of your streams. I've been in one of your Twitch streams, and
I'm sorry.
No, I really enjoyed it. I think it was Dr. Goku was with you at the time, and just very knowledgeable, very helpful. I mean, I think I had mentioned something about my panic attack. I've had a few of those in my life, and stressful situations, but I won't go into that. But yeah, it was very entertaining. Thank you, man. What you do for our community is just outstanding. So thank you.
I mean, just like you said, our Discord server is a verified, Discord server where you can come and have access to mental health professionals, be a part of a large peer support network, and you could also find meaningful resources there and be guided to proper resources for whatever you might be going through. And we're always there to help.
I'm in it.
Anytime.
Yep, I'm in it. It's a nice Discord.
Yep, I'm in it too.
It's purty.
It is. It's really pretty. Hazel, where can everyone find you, sir, before we head out here?
Anywhere and everywhere. Hazel NT.
You can find me on the Twitter at Todd the Gator. Remember, that is Gator, Gatr. You can also find me on YouTube, Steam, and PS4 as Gator, all caps GATR, underscores in between, and Gator space GDC on Xbox. You can find our podcast wherever your podcatcher is out there that gets those things every week. Just go to guardiandowncast.com. All our details are in there, or all our links. I don't think we have our Instagram in there yet, so if you do want to look at our Instagram, we're very small, fledgling little Instagram right now, but we like to post, some kind of picture of our guest. And not to put you on the spot, Mr. Average Joe, but if there's something you want to post in our show notes or in our chat there, we'd be glad to post it in our Instagram. No pressure either way.
Sure.
We Guardian_down_cast is our Instagram where we're trying to get things started. And, visit our Discord. We have a nice Discord as well. A lot of great gamers in there, and just search for Guardian Downcast. And of course, I always put an invite link that doesn't expire in our show notes. And before we go, one more thing we got to do, guys. One more thing. We got to have a Scum Death Corner.
Hello, and welcome to Scum Death Corner. What I've done is my girlfriend, her daughter is supposed to be coming back from uni on the 12th of December. So between me and her, we've arranged while my missus is at work for her to come home today. So when my girlfriend gets home from work in about half hour's time, she will be shocked to see her daughter here. So even the other kids didn't know. So they're shocked when they came home. So give it half hour and the missus will be home. And everyone will probably be blubbering their eyes out like I will. So I'm a bit nervous, a bit sketchy, so I might do a part 2 to this and let you know how it goes. Be safe.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Mr. Scumdeath. We appreciate it, man. That's a great gesture. Having your daughter home from uni to surprise all your family, especially your wife, which I'm sure misses her dearly. And I've seen your family, man. You got an outstanding family. I mean, you guys look like you're just so happy. All the pictures I've seen, and you guys do some weird pictures, man. I'll give you that. You got some strange ones, but that's our crazy uncle across the pond, Average Joe. And almost every week, he sends us a little thing he states to us called Scum Death's Corner.
I love Scum Death. He's very known in the community.
Good. I'm glad.
He should be.
He's a good dude.
And he does have a YouTube channel, Scum Death's Corner. So check that out. He posts some crazy vids every now and then. Even the ones that don't work, he's trying to post a video about something and it doesn't work out. And it's just as good as if it did work. So it's awesome. Hey, everybody. Continue to be safe out there. Take care of one another. Wear that mask in public, please. Let's stop the spread.
Don't drop your guard. The enemy is persistent.
Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
Suck it, Fudd, and Gator.
Sorry for rambling.
Toddles.
Toodles.
I hope that was RNG you're referring to.
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
This section of the creek right here was actually a part of the Arcadia Sea back in prehistoric times where all underwater.
The main topic in the TWAB there at the beginning was the Bungie 2 Destiny. Shit.
Honestly, I think my favorite one is the La Marquis.
Destiny 2 developer update.
I think I'll just play with my next-gen console called my PC.
I'm wearing penguin weaves.